Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards. Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan. Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
Got it down. Welcome into the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep. And yes, this is the man, the myth, the legend, Braylon Edwards, myself, shoveling, I guess snow blowing, if you will. My own snow. I told you last week I don't do that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Hyping you up, man.
So you feel me? You feel
your own snow.
Old dogs can learn new tricks.
I
said,
that.
so you know what? Look, man, I'm a appease Shep. I'm gonna go out here. I'm gonna handle my own business. So it wasn't mine. It was Brits, but made
Okay,
sure.
hold on a second.
Made sure that the snow was good.
I'm
You
looking
feel
He
me?
could have had the service guys
this
pull
really
up.
closely here.
you
You got tennis shoes on.
Yeah, I do.
You're wearing tennis shoes on that.
It doesn't take that long to do the snow.
I get it. Yeah. When was this, by the way? Was this morning?
This morning.
This morning. Okay.
That's this morning.
Yeah.
I got
we're
there in
gonna
some beaters, man.
So I did the same thing, and my wife said, "Why are
feel
you
me?
doing it now when we're supposed to get 3 inches of snow?" I said,
the
it'll
first
make
one
it
started.
easier. Right.
It
get
won't
the
be as
first one
heavy.
started. So you get this going here.
Yeah.
You don't look, to be honest with you don't have the look of an experienced driveway shoveler / snow thrower.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't. That's because I don't. But it got done. I'm a little sideways, zigzag. Like my whole method, I didn't really have a method to it. I started off just going half, back, coming back, then going, then coming back, going. I said, this is a little tedious, a little
Yes,
stupid.
yeah.
So let me go forward and then this way, and back that way, and then this way. Then I got bored with that. My ADD kicked in. I'm like, zigzag, this way and then that way. It's a little bit here and a little bit there. So, but all in all,
The ADD kicks in.
I
Did you do the sidewalk?
no, there is no sidewalk on this crib.
Okay.
There is none. It's like farm. And they don't have it on this side of the road. There's no sidewalk. On the other side, across the street, there is sidewalk. So this is just street. Gil and Nyama, man.
You
So-
look like you just want to get that thing done as quickly as possible.
Wait, hold on.
I was trying to get breakfast.
What did the shoot? What was the forces?
Just some dunks.
Yeah.
Just some dunks. You know me, just mint green dunks.
Hey, Shep,
Always
you see
random
the color scheme? He's matching even then, bro. Look at him.
Hey,
My
man,
man.
this is legit.
That's the outfit. By the way, that's the outfit he wore yesterday.
100%.
Okay.
And I was going to
Let's
the
rock.
cleaners, so I figured I'd get another
why
wear.
not? Sure.
Yeah, but this was just me saying I'm stepping up to the plate. I went out to the went to Dr. Pierce. Arm is good. Thank you to Dr. Pierce as well as Rogine. Arm is good. Got me some medication. Got me gave me a plan. Told me basically sit down for a second. But I went back and got that yard going, man. Felt good about
You're
that.
starting
Shep.
it an awful lot. Is
Yeah.
it conking out on you? What's going on with that? You're taking too much snow at one
No,
time?
that's called a loop.
It's a loop.
It's a loop.
Okay.
The real video I recorded is like 11 minutes, so I just gave you 23 seconds. we didn't need 11 minutes.
Thank you.
Of it
I
restart.
appreciate that very much.
But I will say this though. Let me start with this.
Did you enjoy it?
I did.
Okay.
I
so
did.
you'll
It wasn't
do it
bad.
again.
My hands were frozen though. Like I didn't like that element. I
Yeah.
didn't like it when I didn't like it when I played either.
Oh, yeah, no, those aren't shoveling gloves.
See, I don't. But see,
Those aren't just relaxed.
I've never liked the shoveling gloves though. Like I've never liked the big clunky gloves. Like remember we used to play.
Y'all chat,
we
help
used to play
Braylon out, dog.
No, don't help me out. Remember you used to play football outside back in the day. Like you weren't using those big gloves. They couldn't catch anything.
That's true.
So you use the little the fit ones, thin
got
ones,
you.
and then once they get wet after a while, you put them back in your pocket. Warm your hands up. You know where you put them to warm
He
them
on
up. It don't have to
football
be like
time.
that. Boom, you warm up, get them back good, then you put them back on when you start to go out there and
Did
catch
you
some
think?
passes.
Did you think
I like
about
that.
putting on your receiving gloves underneath the work gloves there?
Nah, that was doing a lot. I know I had 11 minutes. I could brave the storm for 11
This is what
minutes.
you are. I'm going to hurry up and get this done as quickly as possible. The jacket is open.
Yeah.
There's no hat. There's
No,
no
I
winter
had a hat
gloves.
on. I had a hat
Oh,
on.
you
I had
just
a
got the.
scully.
It looks like you got the hood up
I got
there.
the hood. Well, the hood is over the
All right.
scully.
Yeah. And then the tennis shoes are
see it,
classic. That's
100.
fantastic.
I will say this, man. I got to start by saying God is good, man. And if you don't believe that it's okay, He believes in you. I went to, like I said, I went to Dr. Pierce. I went to his office. His office is in Farmington Hills, Livonia. So like 7 in Merriman, go to the office. I go inside, do my therapy, get the diagnosis. I told you, Dr. Pierce knows the diagnoses. So anyway, after that, I'm finished. I'm checking out. There's an elder lady about to walk out of the door. She walks out, held the door open for her, walk her to her car. She almost slipped off the curb, was able to catch her, and then put her in the car. I said, hey, do you have a little thing I can get the snow, a little scraper? She said, it's in the back seat. She said, you going to scrape it for me? Scraped it off for her, made sure she was good. I'm going somewhere with the story.
Who says chivalry is dead?
This isn't bragging, by the way.
I'm telling you, who says chivalry is dead?
It's not.
It's not.
It definitely is
You're
not.
You're proving it right now.
I appreciate it. See, I would have got her together, too. She looks like she needs to do it, though. She might need to show.
She looks experienced. She's got a broom. She doesn't use a scraper. She's got a broom.
Shout out to Neo, man. Miss Independent over there.
Yeah,
so,
she is independent.
Boom. Finish that up. I say, hey, you have a nice day. I jump in the car. As you leave Dr. Pierce's office, there's kind of like an incline to get out. Mm-hmm. There was the truck that was shoveling the snow in the plaza, and there's another entrance. So he's basically shoveling through here, then making a left, entering in, shoveling through, and shoveling all around. He's in front of my car. Don't you know his truck slid back?
Oh.
And was like literally, he's going. I'm watching this in slow motion, Shep. And then by the time I reached down to gear shift, which I don't know why it took me so long, try to gear shift, he stopped. Like he was about this close to the front of the car. And all I could think about is, dang, I'm glad I helped that lady out.
Yeah.
Because this happened 5 seconds later.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
5 seconds later. I mean, obviously it didn't happen because of that. I'm being funny, but God is good. Protect that lady from falling, and then in turn, protected me from a car because I wouldn't have came.
What is it about just looking at a car that's about to hit your car and you being
frozen?
Yes, I was going to say paralyzed for a moment, probably an inappropriate word. Just frozen for just that split second when you should be doing something. If you're skidding, do you remember all the rules? Turn the wheel to the same direction that you're being.
100%.
Are you downshifting?
Pump the brakes down, all the whole night.
Okay. Are you downshifting at all?
I remember these living room lectures.
Okay, because I'm down.
Downshifting for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
I think what happens in this moment is your mind is trying to decide what activity is it about to engage in. Because there's so many activities. Am I jumping out of the car? I'm going a little exaggerated.
Yeah.
But hey, look, man, it depends on what the force is. Depends on how fast the car is coming. Depends on what's going on. Is it a jalopy? You know what I'm saying? But am I jumping out of the car? Am I backing up? Am I reversing? Is there enough time? Did I hit the horn yet? All these things are going through your mind. And what ends up happening, you don't focus in on none of it.
There's also an anticipation, isn't there?
Yeah.
I was taking the dogs to the dog park. We go up to Lake Orion, all right? And there's a great dog park up there. Just, miles and miles, trails. This dude in a massive Cadillac Escalade isn't letting me over. I got the turn signal on, and this is Michigan drivers. That's okay.
I used to hang out Lake Orion.
And then what do a lot of Michigan drivers do? You're not going to let me in. I'm just going to force my way in.
Yeah.
All right? You got two lanes.
Shout out to the no-fault state.
Right? There you go. No-fault state. Yeah. So this dude barely is leaving me any room. I'm just keep going. You know what my thought was? Your car's a lot more expensive than mine.
If he hits you, I got something for you.
And it's going to cost you a lot more to fix your car than mine.
No fault.
That's what I'm thinking.
No fault.
Hey, good for you to help that lady though. Yeah. I hope she said thank you.
No, she was over the moon, ecstatic and polite.
Very cool.
So she was more polite than Pagula was at that press conference.
I will say this, and we'll get into that. I will say this: a lot of women these days, younger women, don't always say thank you when you open the door for them. And it's troubling. I see all these different social media ladies saying, you know what kind of guy you need to, why is chivalry dead? I want a strong man. You don't find any strong men anymore. And I'm thinking, well, you got to listen to the Braylon Edwards Show. We got 4 of them. But
hey, shut up.
My original thought is when you hold a door for a lady, you're hoping for just a nod. You're hoping for a thank you. It doesn't take much, right? Rarely do you get it. How do you respond?
Almost for communal acknowledgement.
So
thank you.
Yeah.
So what do you say anything if that happens? Has that ever happened to you?
What?
I felt that. I've been there before, and you just kind of just.
Man, let Kool-Aid go first.
I'm for real. You just charge it to the game. You keep going, man.
Nope.
That's the best.
Nope.
You
That's
can
why
grit your teeth a
that's
little
why
bit.
he's a better man than I am. That
Nope.
that
I
man
ain't
right
nobody
there,
better
that
than
man
Nope.
right there is a better man than I am. Because
Nope.
that's not how I handle it. Go
He's
ahead.
not better. He's not better than me, and I'm honest. I'm gonna tell you like this: the reason why, first of all, the younger generation, as relates to women, are acting that way is one. Who said I needed help? That's the first thought process for them. Like I watch enough shows. I watch enough of these lectures, these round tables that they have where you have men on this side, women on this side, and I get a feel for what it is. Especially the pop balloons. Pay attention to that Pop the Balloon show, man, because you'll learn a lot. One is who said I needed help. Who?
That's their attitude.
That's their attitude. That's the thought process. No, I'm. First of all, this is my own car. Why do I need a door to get out? I want. The thought is I don't need help. Who said I needed help? Do I look helpless to you? Okay, and then do I look helpless to you? I'm not some damsel in distress. The next thought about that, this is what they have, is if you're just doing it to be nice, then why do I have to say thank you? Like you should be like the thank you isn't a part of it. Like I've had this conversation before. This is why I know this part of it. The thank you is not a part of it. Like if you're doing it because it's supposed to be done, then just do it because it's supposed to be done. You don't need anything in return. Why are you doing things to get something in return? Those are the two sides that they operate from when they think like that. Okay. Now, the question you ask Kool-Aid is, what do you do? You're welcome.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
You're welcome.
That's exactly what I do.
It does not feel. It doesn't matter if they're 30 or 80.
Yeah.
Like if I hold the door for you and you use my services and you walk out this door and you don't say thank you, I'm not going to say you should have said thank you. I'm not going to say, hey, ma'am, are you going to say thank you?
Right.
I'm just going to say the word you should say.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Which means that's implied. And a lot of times
That's exactly how I handle it. I'm glad I'm not alone there.
But you know what happens in that too, though, Shep, is you'll realize sometimes people have so much going on, and this gives them the opportunity to say thank you. Yes, we're not going to walk out the door if somebody's holding it open and not say thank you. That's how we grew up. That's how Melissa, that's how Charles, that's how Stan, that's how Carolyn raised me, right? Mm-hmm. But I used to live in New York. And in New York, everybody's got so many things going on in their mind. Sometimes they miss things by just opening up and just saying, you're welcome. Oh, thank you. I'm absolutely sorry.
Yeah.
So that's why I started saying it, is to give the other people, maybe they would say thank you if I kind of just politely remind them. And then also when they don't say it, well, now you still feel like an a-hole.
Is it?
That person.
So
still
there you
feels
go.
like an a-hole.
You've taken the entire gamut of where I was going to go. Yeah. Because it seems like if you do that, you're the jackass. When really...
Yeah.
I liken a lot of this stuff to the gym. Doesn't take much to wipe down the bench you were on, and it sure as hell doesn't take much for you to unrack your weights and put it away.
Were people always wiping down? Because like wiping was like,
no,
it was like 2020. 100%.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Because that's one that still pushes my buttons.
Yeah, I just put a towel down.
Like
so if I put a towel down and I'm not sweating on that towel, I think I'm good. Right?
I hate when people try to come behind you too fast. There's a lot of different people working out right now. By the way, come down to Planet Fitness where your fitness is essential. There is no judgment here. We are not judging you at Planet Fitness. But I think since 2020 and them reopening gyms in 2021, et cetera, people come before you even finish. Yeah. So they don't even give you a second to wipe down.
That's true.
Like people come right behind you. I'm on the pec deck getting it in. Whew, all right, wiped out. Now I done walked off to walk to
you went to go get the paper
to get
towel,
a rest.
or
To get some rest in between sets.
Oh, I'm getting the paper.
And then you come back and then they're sitting and they're looking at you like you didn't even wipe it down. Well, excuse me, ma'am, my phone's still on the machine.
Yeah, not to
my bottle of water is sitting in the seat.
Yeah, I wouldn't have had the time to wipe anything if you get my drift, let alone that.
All these wipe down.
So I get that.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how I feel. You are, if somebody's talking on their phone and you say, hey man, I can hear you. If I can hear you over my heavy metal, that's a problem. You're talking too loud. They'll look at you and they'll be like, what? Oh, sorry, you're interfering with Iron Maiden right now, and I got a problem with it. Oh, okay. Why don't you do this? Oh, that you're going to give me the attitude? You're the one who's at fault here. Yeah. Why am I being seen as the bad guy?
I try not to bother people at the gym. Like even when people are a little out of pocket, if you will, a little doing the most DTM, I'm like, look, that individual needs this gym for whatever reason. I know I need the gym. These are my reasons. So it's not even worth it. Like,
here's
let me just
my
find
attitude.
another.
My attitude is there's a place to talk. It's right up there. It's
Yeah.
not that big of a deal. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like 6 or 7 steps.
That's
You
true.
can do that. You can finish that.
It's true.
I guess if I can do it, if I can say, you know what, I'm going to get off this machine. I'm going to go take this phone call because I think it's important.
Yeah.
I think just about anybody can. I think it's come down to common decency and courtesy, and I think we've lost a little bit of that. I don't know why we have. Perhaps some of that is because of what? Because of, we're so attached to our phones. I don't know. But it's interesting stuff. Here's what's really interesting.
Yeah.
One of
See it start
a player for the Lions has said something that I think has irked a fan base. Or has it? We'll soon find out. We'll
Yeah.
get to that when we come back.
And Freddie Feld did send in a
Look at the snow
199
day.
super chat to say, I'm a big, you're welcome shouting guy.
Yeah,
so he
good.
agrees with you all.
Yeah, thank you, Freddie. That doesn't surprise me. Kool-Aid, is that you in the Pistons jacket? It's got to be.
We got.
Oh, snap.
We're gonna have to work on it because
Hey.
Kool-Aid.
He looks good there.
That's because he has a nice little fade, little
I
hair.
was about to say,
on
that's me from maybe about 10 years ago.
there's
Kool-Aid
no
under
hat
that
there.
hat. Don't worry, we're gonna get this together. But I figured it was a snow day. Figured we get some graphics.
That's
out
fire,
there.
man.
Favorite snow day before we go to commercial break.
Can I just say something?
Please.
You got good form there. You got this. You look like a quarterback more than anything. I'm wondering, did you just hit me with a snowball? Is that what that is?
No.
And you've already packed up?
No.
Okay.
What's happening is, now this is my first time fully diving into the picture, but I'm going to go for it. I think the trajectory on the snowball is coming from the wrong angle. 'Cause I look like I'm about to attack. Who
Yes.
just threw a snowball at you?
At me, right. I
Right,
think
whoever
so. You're
got-
defending me.
I'm defending.
I'm going to say thank you after this.
I feel like Kool-Aid dodged the snowball that hit you in the shoulder. Kool-Aid dodged it. I'm in Joe Montana mode. or Joe, what's his name? Joe
This
Kane.
is fire.
I'm out here like Joe Kane.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I-
Maybe it's Cam. Maybe
Yeah.
Cam's throwing the
Sweet
snowballs.
potato?
Yeah.
You know what-
it would be an orange snowball. It would be a sweet potato snowball.
Or maybe this is like the Denver Broncos versus the Bills, and maybe this was like the Josh Allen throw, and then I reloaded real quick. So maybe I hit you like Josh Allen, and then I reloaded. I said, my bad, Shep. That's why you're laughing, because I probably said,
I think
Josh
I'm-
Allen.
I think I'm laughing because Sean McDermott got fired.
Oh.
Which, by the way, thought of you right away.
Yeah.
The report after you said the story during the Braylon Edwards
Came
show
out, yeah.
yesterday, it came out.
That
Yeah.
one and Dayball, because he was talking about Dayball too.
Yeah,
It-
but the McDermott one was,
That-
hey, a few weeks back, November, I believe is
Yeah.
what Braylon said yesterday. He told them blatant honesty. Hey, we don't have the horses right now. I'm paraphrasing here. They didn't like it, and then what did he say? He said the suit goes with the owner. That's exactly what happened.
He been calling stuff this year.
I tell you like this too, that Deshaun
He been calling stuff this year.
McDermott thing. is
He's
like-
been on it, man.
the biggest thing that you're moving on for Sean McDermott, and I get it. Every coach and quarterback
Shelf life, yeah.
every coach and every quarterback that have won the Super Bowl, they've done it within 5 years. So if you want to use metrics like that, if this is how you want to go about it, fine. Also, too, you're a defensive guy. You're like this is what you do. You're a defensive stalwart. This is what got you the job as the Buffalo Bills head coach. You bring in defense. You had number one defense a couple times while you were there. You've had all that, and in the playoffs, you give up 33.5 points.
Right.
So, like, when you look at it like that, you can justify Sean McDermott getting fired.
Sure.
Now, I can't justify Bean still having a job and then sitting at this press conference.
Getting promoted.
And, oh, by the way, the owner's sitting at the press conference and making excuses for Bean. Like, don't tell me you drafted Keon Coleman and that was your
Well, a lot of people may not know what you're talking about,
But,
so
we
we
can get back
will
to
get
that.
to that. All right, we'll get
Yeah.
to that. You were going to move on to something just after the snowball fight, in which I just got pegged.
Yeah, so you see, but you see, you see what type of coats we wearing.
Yeah, I like the starters.
Come on.
like the
So what's the best snowball? I mean, you were going with
Ah.
the best snowball packing or best snowball fight?
Snowball day, snowball fight, best snow day, if you will. I got two. One, snow day. You ready for it? It's Georgia. I moved to Georgia in 89, 90. I get down
Really?
there 100%. Well, this is why. I moved down there in Georgia, coming from Detroit. I'm pissed. I'm like, why are we moving here? My mom remarried. Shout out to CP. Love you to death. So we go down here to Georgia. I'm like, man, I got to go down here with these kids that I don't know. Literally like week 3 down there. Snowstorm. The only time while I lived in Georgia for 5 years that schools were closed. They were closed for 2 days. These kids didn't know what to do. Meanwhile, my snow stuff's right here. My jacket's right here. My boots are right here. And also, this kind of brought the end to me in Georgia. Because, like, for that day, I was cool.
Yeah.
It was he knows how to. Let's follow his lead. Yeah. I was like, oh yeah.
How do you pack snow? Yeah.
So what you do is do a snowball, and then obviously the Michigan snowball fights we used to have.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you about that the one
I
time. The
love
first
that.
snow in Ann Arbor of the year. Snowball fight. Everybody. Well, now you can just text or FaceTime, but back then it was like emails. Call. Hey, tell John we'll be over in between.
Or
South
outside
Quad.
the window. Just open the window. Snowball fight. Yeah.
So South Quad and West Quad snowball fights.
So we all had snowball fights.
Yeah.
Right. We've all built snowmen.
Don't fight pitchers.
Okay.
Snow forts.
What about snow forts? That's where I was just going to go.
Snow forts at
Definitely
the
did,
end of the
Did
driveway.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
At the end of your driveway.
Yeah,
you made the
like
snow.
snow day.
Yeah, where the
trash
snow
day.
is. Yeah,
Where
like
it
where they
builds
were-
up the biggest.
Exactly.
You get that little igloo going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff is fun.
Now my pop was an engineer, so he would take like the trash cans. He would have all the measurements and have this whole thing decked out for us. It was dope. And Cam is right off the edge of the
Oh,
driveway.
you're saying
where it
like
would
in the
pile
ditch
up.
area,
Yeah.
not the
No,
end,
no,
not
the
the
very
little
beginning.
edge of the driveway on the driveway.
No, like on the sides, on the grass where,
Yeah,
where it
that's what I'm
piles
saying.
up. Yep.
Yeah.
Right. The biggest pile you can find,
Yep.
and you
Yeah.
dig a hole, hollow it out, and
It's fire.
there you got an outdoor
Yeah, we
living
did that
room
too.
all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Like we disappeared on snow. First of all, we disappeared outside for hours and hours and hours when we were young.
Same, yeah.
We disappeared even in the snow. Like
Right.
we'd be outside 2 hours.
Yep.
You come back inside, leave everything at the door, like your arm and your hands are shaking,
Yep.
they're wet the whole night. You got snow coming out of your socks.
Couldn't
snow
wait to
coming
get
of
back
your ear.
out, though, Adam.
Nose
Get the hot
is
cocoa, get
nose
right,
is
and
red.
right back in it. Yeah.
Get warmed up for about an hour and a half. Like, all right, y'all ready?
Nothing stopped you. I played basketball in the snow. It would be
Same.
snowing, and we'd have the driveway. Sometimes it'd be wet, but even on the snow, we'd be playing. We'd be slipping and sliding. It didn't matter to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That gets me fired up.
All we cared
Puts a
about is
tear
just
in my
being
eye.
outside, right? So after you build the snow fort, isn't it as much fun tearing it down or kicking it down like we used to do?
As it started to get warm, it was like, skip this fort.
right?
From snow forts to Fortnite.
You know what? That's actually
How
a
did
bar.
we get here?
Yeah. How did
How
we
did we
get
get
here?
here? Well, you know what? Ben Johnson knows how he got here. It's because he's consistent. He is the fighter. Let him fight for you. Corporations, the government, even your insurance company will do whatever it takes to minimize their liability and withhold your compensation. Don't let them withhold your compensation. How you do that? You make Ben Johnson the very first call. You make not the second, not the third, the numero uno. And I know a little bit something about being numero uno. Contact Ben today at benfights.com.
ENG Madison said, my brother and I played winter basketball. No dribbling and tackling is allowed. I love that. That's very similar to what we went through. So you and I with kindred spirits. You want good spirits? Art and Jake's. Really good spirits. There are like 22 different types of beer on tap, 80 television sets. Why is that important? It's important because you're a sports fan. You want to be able to go and watch whatever sporting event that is taking place. Well, guess what? We know that Michigan and Michigan State are going to take place at the Breslin Center in 2 weeks, all right? Friday, January 30th, Woodward Sports is going to be there. Art and Jake's in East Lansing. It is there where you can watch it live, big screens, great food, cold drinks, and Woodward Sports. Hope you can join us Friday night, East Lansing. Don't just watch the rivalry, experience it with Woodward Sports.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got to call everybody. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
any Lady Jane's haircuts for men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's haircuts for men. It's wicked awesome.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill sub-zero. Icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill sub-zero.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential, with over 2,700 gyms nationwide. It's the gym for you. It's the gym for everybody. Remember, we're all strong on this planet, and that planet is Planet Fitness. Don't matter if you're just starting your journey. We want you to come down to Planet Fitness and start it with us. We believe in fitness, mental as well as physical. Also, trainers on staff, and there's no judgment here at Planet Fitness. You can march to the beat of your own drum, and nobody will bother you, but there will be trainers just in case. And don't forget, locker rooms are squeaky clean. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
You show up at a party with Sun Cruiser vodka iced tea, there's going to be a lot of people bothering you, and for good reason. Why? Because it's a really good, crisp tasting drink. Real vodka, real iced tea, no bubbles, just that crispness that gives you only 100 calories. Perfect for tailgates, perfect for the games this weekend, perfect for the games last night, Michigan State, and tonight. This season, let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser and Woodward Sports, and please drink responsibly.
And we back.
I loved that last. I love that last member in the chat where they said they used to play basketball in the snow.
That's
no
real,
dribbling,
man.
but tackling was allowed, man.
I think you'll love this one.
All right.
Dante151 with the $9.99 super chat says, Shep, I went and saw 28 years later the Bone Temple, and there's a scene where it felt like a music video for the song The Number of the Beast by Iron Maiden. Also, this movie is both wild and awesome.
Dante, I'm going to watch it on your recommendation. I like scary movies, and if it is Iron Maiden 666, then I'll probably watching it with even that much more interest.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put my cross on, man, and pray for you brothers. Man.
I got it. I got a cross out for that too.
I'm gonna pray that it goes the right way, you know. Nah, but I watched 28. Was it days? Then with the weeks, and then it was months.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I mean,
heard,
I'll see it just to complete the trilogy. But movies, Dante, to your point, they are getting a bit on the wild, cringy side, man. That's why I'm starting to go see rom-coms, saying with that crazy stuff. I remember I saw Him. Like with Marlon Wayans, the quarterback movie and the football. I was like, let's go see Him. Boy, oh boy, that demonic element is real.
Is it? And in that movie too.
Yeah,
okay. Usually before I see a movie, I'm gonna call Braylon and just get an idea. Have you seen this? What are your thoughts on it? I don't believe in that Rotten Tomatoes. I don't.
Oh hell no!
I don't base anything on that.
They're apt for hire.
Yeah, my kids always say they could see a trailer or just the name of a movie and say, Dad would like it, because it's usually a short name, the whatever, and it's the same shoot 'em up, action film, or somebody protecting our country and doing something, that's the stuff that they think, Dad loves that stuff. But I'm going to watch that. I will say this, when you're seeing the various commercials, have you noticed the music in the background of these commercials, Chevy or whatever? A lot of it is 80s rock and roll music.
It's safe.
They're using some AC/DC. They're using Judas Priest. They're using a lot of really good, some would call it heavy metal. I would just say hard rock. It's not heavy metal. It's hard rock. They use that, and it's like, yes. Now, that doesn't make me want to go out and buy a car right away, but it does make me enjoy the commercial more.
The one truck commercial almost did when I was a kid, and maybe that's why I got back to it and bought a truck when I was older, an adult. I mean, I moved on, but that Like a Rock commercial?
Yeah, Bob
Like
Seger.
a rock. What?
What's the
Standing in the wind. I was like, yo, sign me up. Sign me up.
What's the one now? The
there.
Kia with the rapper? Is it Lil Wayne? No, is it Lil? Who's the guy who's okay?
Oh, yeah, I was waiting to see that. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead. You're going to say that.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, that's
Two
it.
Chainz.
Oh, Lil
Nah,
Jon.
he's on Lil Jon.
Lil Jon.
Oh, Lil
okay.
Jon, yeah.
Lil Jon. All right.
He looks weird.
I knew there was a Lil in there.
I see you.
Yeah,
Okay.
he looks weird on TV though. He doesn't have a full grill. It's all
He
like
does.
That's 'cause
white enamel teeth.
Yeah, those are almost as bad as Matthew Stafford's white enamel.
That's because Lil Jon got money. He figured that process out.
But that's a little music behind that commercial that makes you kind of go, okay, where you're kind of bobbing your head a little bit, don't you think?
One thing about it, man, like music can always take whatever your brand is, whatever your thing is, whatever your idea is, and just takes it to that next level. Because music is the universal connector, man. But you put the right song on a trailer, or the right song on a commercial, or the right song on a highlight tape, or the right song on a presentation.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even care about the other stuff. It's like, yeah, it was great. What'd you like about it? I just like the one part in the song where I'm talking about the presentation. Oh, yeah, that was good, too.
Maze Dub says, Shep, that's Hyundai. He's right. That's what it is. I said Kia. Okay, it's one of those.
I would say the same.
Yeah, one of those. But it's a really good.
racist?
It's a really good commercial. Okay, so it's pretty fun. Where do you want to go? You want to go the Amon-Ra St. Brown stuff?
Kia
or you
used
want
to have those dancing gerbils. Do it LMFAO. That's what the Kia had commercials with, like the big hamsters.
The little hamster.
Kia had those. I tried to be that for
Yeah, with the
Halloween
Kia
in
Soul.
2011. The Kia Souls.
Yeah.
That's
I
how
remember
he
that.
knows it.
What?
I wanted to be that
What?
for Halloween.
Me and my homeboy Nick, we were gonna be those legitimately.
What up, Nick?
We got the car was the easy part. I went to the Kia dealership. I said, "Hey, look, man, we're trying to do Halloween." He said, "Oh yeah, Braylon Edwards born." Yeah, so the deal was set up, but we couldn't find those costumes anywhere. And the biggest thing that we saw looked like a beat up old school Alvin and the Chipmunks. I was like, "No, thank you, Theodore. No, thank you."
Steve
really
Baby
good.
in the chat is saying, Kool-Aid, I am so angry at St. Brown right now. So the chat is, they've been percolating on that all chat.
That's from Steve Baby. So I don't know if people had a chance to hear this. I can't say that I listened to every episode, but I will tune into some of his episodes once in a while. Amon-Ra St. Brown does one with his brother. Today, it was a little odd. I was telling this to Braylon before. They started like, I don't know how I feel about this. Okay, well, if you don't know how you feel about it, I'm listening to your podcast because I want to know how you feel about it, right? And you're trying to tell me, I really don't know how I feel. Anyway, they started talking about the divisional
That's how crazy it
championships,
was.
right? They were talking about the last weekend's games and kind of with a sneak peek toward this weekend in the NFC and the AFC championship game. Then, of course, it dovetails into Drew Petzing, the new offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. And Amon-Ra St. Brown sees what everybody else sees. He sees the reactions from Lions fans. This is what he had to say on his podcast earlier today about Drew Petzing and the Lion fan base reaction. Go ahead.
Bro, I see crazy Lions fans talking crazy, like, oh, why would we do this? Like, bro, do you guys, like, have no trust in Dan? Like, in the Lions? Like, you think they would just hire a random dude? Like, be for real. Like, you think they don't know what they're doing? They don't do their research. They don't interview. Like, most of you guys don't know really much about anything, about any ball.
Wow. Wow.
And you're tweeting about a coach that was hired that you guys don't like because of XYZ. Like, it's just funny to me to see. Don't get me wrong, I love all Lions fans, but they are so quick to make, judgments about who we hired, who we did this. Like, bro, just relax. Calm down. Like, let the whole thing play out. Like, you guys just let it play out. Just relax. That's all I gotta say. Relax, man. Relax.
That's fine.
This
man.
ain't it.
It's easy for for someone to say that. And look, he's more invested than a lot of people. But to try and tell a fan base to relax when you just didn't live up to expectations is a tough pill for that fan base to swallow. So there's a couple of things, and then I want your reaction to it. For him to say trust, like, how do you not trust these people? Well, that's because, as we've said ad nauseum, you were kind of trusting him that he picked Anthony Lynn, and he was wrong. You trusted him that he took John Morton, and he was wrong. We trusted Brad Holmes in taking certain players, whether it be Hendon Hooker or whomever, and they were wrong. I think there's been a lot of trust. Something's getting sideways here from the Lions organization. Something is messed up because there's a lot of people in this town over the last 3 years have put all their trust in the brain trust of the Lions, and a lot of it was earned. But if I can give you my trust because I view that it was earned by you, and it was with some of the draft picks and some of the hires, I can also pull that trust from you when I notice that you haven't earned that trust. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Did the Lions fan base overreact to the hiring? Probably. I don't think their Lions fan base is any unique from anybody else. I think you want names, and as we went ad nauseum during Martin Luther King Day, we don't know all the coordinators. So there is a level of trust there with the Lions front office, but there's also an understanding of why you don't trust them in certain situations. And then the last thing, when he says most of you don't know any ball, look, the man to my right has forgotten more football than I'll ever know, but I tap into his knowledge and it helps me. Okay. There are a lot of people out there, they sure don't know football and reads and everything else like that Amon-Ra St. Brown does. But I would remind Amon-Ra St. Brown this. While you're wrapped up in your playbook and you're getting ready for the next team, and rightfully so, by the way, a lot of us are, and a lot of people out there, are looking at film of other teams, studying other teams, studying college football players, and reading up on a lot of these coaches. So you got to be careful when you start telling a fan base they don't know what the hell they're talking about. There might be a better way to couch that thought.
Yeah, I mean, you said everything that needed to be said. Legitimately, you start the interview talking about, Lions fans crazy and they think this way. Look, Amon-Ra St. Brown has been amazing as a Detroit Lion. This takes nothing away from what he does. 6,252 yards, 44 touchdowns. I mean, I can go on and on about the stats that he's accumulated in his first 5 years as a Detroit Lion. One of the best wide receivers in the game currently. One of the best football players in the game currently. You got to be careful, though, St. Brown. You got to be careful when you talk to a fan base that has done nothing but support you since 2021, that supported you, that supported his team, that has done with the highs of getting to the NFC Championship in 2023, dealt with the lows of losing last year in playoffs, or even lower, losing this year when the goal was supposed to be to get to the Super Bowl this season. You didn't even make the playoffs. So I'd be careful talking to the fans that way. And they have every right to. This is a situation like Shep said. The last coordinator that you hired, well, he got fired mid-season. Like, I know they didn't fire him to the end of the season, but they fired him mid-season essentially for not being good enough. Were we supposed to wait on that? I didn't hear you last year come out then and say, well, be patient on John Morton. You didn't say this last year. There's another coordinator that he's fired, in Anthony Lynn. There's multiple coaches that have been hired and fired. There's players that have been brought in or drafted and then let go or shown the door. So we can have a conversation about what we don't feel is working. And this situation right now with Coach Petzing, as I would say, it's an interesting one. It's weird. It's weird energy around your facility. One, you bring in Mike McDaniels, and then 2 days later you come out with a report that says, well, he doesn't fit it. He doesn't fit in here. And then you hire a coach 4 days later, and we're trying to figure out based on what. And then that same guy that you said didn't fit the culture here, well, he fits the culture in Los Angeles with Jim Harbaugh, who's similar-minded to Dan Campbell. That's still perplexing. So I would push back, man, relax. And I get it. You're trying to support, if you will. You want to support your GM who supported you, pays you as he should have, has taken care of a lot of Lions as they should have, to majority, most of them. So I get that. You want to come out, but be relaxed, because that last thing that you said was, you said, just wait and see. See, Amon-Ra St. Brown, you're projecting. You're projecting. You're projecting the unknown of what this is going to be, the unknown of what Petzing is. By trying to calm the fan base down, you're essentially trying to calm yourself down. Because also, if you watch that interview, he goes on to say, who is what I had to do when we hired Petzing, I had to go to Wikipedia and take a look at that and see what has been his track record. Where does he come from? You don't even know. You're trying to figure out, as you should be. St. Brown, at the end of the day, the fan base the fan base is on your team. Because how the fan base looked at it this offseason, Shep said it a million times. He just said it when we started the show. Look at what this job is. Talking about the offensive coordinator. You got J-Mo. Disrespectful. You have Amon-Ra St. Brown. You got J-Mo, Panay Sewell, Jameer Gibbs for the time being. David Montgomery. We hope to get Sam Laporta back. Other time. This is a nice system with nice players. Nice players. We want you to have the best success. We wanted them to bring in a coordinator that stirred the pot. We wanted them to bring in a coordinator that as soon as we heard that name, we could look at some stuff, but already had a memory of, oh, man, we got this guy. This guy can do this, 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 this. He can help us do this, this, this. He can now unload and he can now – this is the conversation that we wanted to have. But instead, when we made the hire, it's like, huh?
Well, remember.
He did what?
Like you just said.
The Cardinals don't even like him.
Right. Like you just said, though, Amon-Ra St. Brown, prior to that soundbite that Kool-Aid played, said I had to go to Wikipedia.
Everybody not stupid around here.
Right. I had to go to Wikipedia and look him up.
Can't do
and
both.
It was interesting. He went to Boston College. And it's interesting that he and Ben Johnson are friends. And so it might be close. If you had to go look him up, and you're in that business,
100%.
That's your job. You don't even know who this dude is, and you're going to rip on Lions fans who many have been able to take some time, study what's going on, gather an opinion. There's nothing wrong with having an opinion. On do you have to believe everything that the Lions do turns to gold? I can give you plenty of examples where it hasn't.
We have. This is why I think that this is just blind support for Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell moving forward. Because if there was real support, if there was really, I believe in this guy. First of all, too, he wouldn't have said wait and see.
Yes.
Like if there was real support, you know what he would have did when he started the podcast? He would have came in with what they call receipts. He would have said, he said, the reason why you guys, talking about the fan base, the reason why you guys are in good hands as well as myself, because we're on the same team here, is because I know you don't know Petzing that well, but blah, 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 blah. This is what I like about him. Blah, 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 blah. This is what I like about him. Also, too, did you know, blah, 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 blah. There was no conversation. There was none of that. In fact, when you came to the podcast, you looked a little unprepared, which we know you. That ain't your style. So I would have been a little bit more prepared if I truly believed in the coordinator, because now I'm coming with some facts. I'm coming home. This is what was said. Well, I don't want to preview you to too much, but I've had conversations with Mark Brunell, and Mark Brunell has told me about the little things and the nuances and what we're going to add to the game that's going to work for us, and go back to some of the things that we did well in 23, 24. None of that happened. In fact, you really came to the podcast like you just had saw the news the day before.
Yeah, he said
like an hour
he said Dan talked to me and he says this guy's going to be good for us. Well,
based on what,
that's taking words. That's taking a word. I mean, remember Dan Campbell last year said the same thing about John Morton. This guy's going to be good for us because he helped me install this offense. Blah 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 blah. Jack Stark said the same thing as you just said in the chat. He said, you know what St. Brown didn't say in those comments? I love the hire.
Yep.
Instead, he just said, let's see how it goes. Trust Dan. That's not necessarily endorsement.
Yep.
And that's fine. But when you start telling the fans during a podcast that they don't know any ball, and that may be true. Like I said, you've forgotten more football than the three of us combined know right now. But that doesn't mean you have to spit it in people's face. There are easier ways for you to go about the fan base and say, I understand why there's some concern, maybe some skepticism. Yeah. I trust Dan. I trust Brad. This is their job. They know they got to get this right, and I'm confident that they did get this right. They don't have to turn it around at the fan base.
No, you don't. I've been in that situation before where I've had that conversation, and it never ends well, and you have to give people respect. You guys have the ability to look up the stats, listen to people that you believe in, see what the numbers are, come up with your own information, and you can kind of draw conclusions on, somewhat in the ballpark. And you don't have to play the game. There are a lot of people that don't play the game that are knowledgeable about what moves should be made. I think speaking from that point of view, pipe down a little bit, St. Brown. But other than that, I think he's worried too. He's nervous. I would be nervous as hell if I was St. Brown. After year 5, I'm 62, 52, 44 tugs, and I'm operating. I'm entering the prime of my life and potentially about to be in a spot where I'm wasting it for the second year. He had numbers, but as we know, now that we've been winning, and now that you've seen Pro Bowlers or you've seen stats to where these guys are on the trajectory to go to Hall of Fame, they don't care about the numbers anymore. They care about having vetted coaches. They care about having people that can people that can be competent.
Yeah, I just think you got to be very careful when you start talking about trust. Yeah. Because as I say to my kids all the time, it's an easy thing to lose. It's a really hard thing to gain or regain. Right. And when you have this team that has made some bold moves, at least the fan base looked at it as such, and it didn't work out. Awesome. You told us to trust that Marcus Davenport was going to have a really good year. He didn't. Yeah. You told us to trust that you were going to make the necessary moves to make this team a Super Bowl contender. Yeah. You didn't. You told us to trust how this offensive line was going to work, and it didn't. You told us to trust a lot of different things over the last couple of years. Some have worked, some haven't. We don't expect you to be perfect, but don't throw that in fans' face like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're not trusting these guys when you're taking somebody that they really don't know much about, nor does he have a track record of high-energy offense.
After a major step back, too, you didn't just not reach the Super Bowl. You didn't even
make the playoffs.
And the offense was sputtering even after Dan took over. Like, that is concerning.
You didn't make the playoffs, and you come to this podcast, and you're acting like, whoa, like y'all did what? Like you went to the second round of playoffs, that you're in the NFC Championship, or that you didn't do that, so you got to be careful. Also, the fan base loves you. Like, they absolutely love you. Right. They love you. Don't make your fight not your fight. Mm-hmm. Like, don't try to go support something that you don't know, and in the process, dog fans out. Because if this thing doesn't go right and you're fighting with fans all season long, now you're fighting cause. This ain't your cause. Like, you've done everything right by the Detroit Lions fan base, by the organization, by the city, by the league. You've done everything the right way. What have I been telling you, though, Kool-Aid, about these podcasts? People get on these podcasts, get a little comfortable, and say, I've even said things on the podcast and go back and watch film, like, oh, you got to pipe down a little bit. Relax. Because everybody loved Barry Sanders until they did. Everybody loved Calvin Johnson until they didn't. And they didn't push back against the fan base. That's what you're doing now. So I don't fight a fight that's not your fight.
What is it that everybody feels like look, this is easy to say. They're paid handsomely. I have no problem with a lot of players doing what they want to for their own brand. That's cool, you know. It's just, it does open up a different way of going about things and a different way for people looking at you, okay, instead of your just on-field performance. I mean, for crying out loud, LeBron James's agent has a podcast. And what happened?
Rich Paul.
Did you see what he said recently about Austin Reeves?
I saw that.
Okay. Not a smart thing to say.
I had to walk it back.
What does everybody assume? Yeah. Oh, you know where he's getting the information from, right?
LBJ.
Yeah, LBJ. Yeah. I just think you're asking, unless you're super careful and trustworthy, and you're almost like a secondary voice, which in Amon-Ra St. Brown's case, he is not. I think you really open the door to having some issues. I really do.
Yeah, 100%. You got to start getting like, I'm not going to talk about what the podcast is. I don't know. But the producer has to vet that information before we get on the show. Hey, what are we talking about today? Like, what do you, because we know we hired the offensive coordinator. Where are you on that? How are you going to bring this conversation? That's when you get a little help. Mm-hmm. Like, that's when you get a little help. Jason Kelce and his brother, like, I was so annoyed and tired of them just because, you get tired of people after a while. But their podcast, like, it was interesting, if you will.
Yeah, look, you can still do it.
That's what I'm saying.
Taylor Lewan does it when he's retired.
Bussing with the boys.
He
did it when he's playing, too, towards the end. Though.
Toward the end of his career.
Kinda.
Yeah. I mean, the Chuck
that's what the
Chuck brothers do it, too.
I want them to do things like that. Like you
Me
said,
too.
That's what the bread is.
Same here.
Well,
the bread is how they play. I mean, they're not making more than what they're earning on the ice or on the field.
That's partially true. That's partially true because guess what? That field, it has an expiration date. Like what you do in the media, like this is now setting up more. Amon-Ra St. Brown's podcast. He and his brother probably make $5 million off that podcast. Mm-hmm, and that's in year 5. What does that money look like year 10? What does it look like when he's ready to take that jump? Yeah. And now he's working on CBS or NBC or whatever.
Opens other doors, for sure.
Yeah, so it's a start for that.
Yeah, and I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Like I said, it is where it's going. People want to hear from players who've played the game. I get it. I'm just saying then you can't sit there and tell me, well, this podcast kind of opened up something for me and I probably shouldn't. Yeah, you shouldn't have said it.
It's screaming to me. Cam, tell me if I'm wrong. I know you're in the chats. I know you're individual comments on things. It's screaming. He's frustrated about last season. He's frustrated about the hire. He's frustrated about the John Morton situation. He's frustrated where the Lions are now versus where they are not. And I think that came out a little bit in this. That I promise you, Shep, that's not an attack on the fan base more than it is. I can't yell at Dan. I can't yell at Brad Holmes. I can't tell them to, man, what did you guys do? So what I can do is the fan base that's posing very, very similar questions to the ones that I have, I can tell them to relax. I can double down. This is where I get out. Man, just pipe down. Relax. Why you guys always just wait and see how it is? That's what he's trying to tell himself.
Okay.
That's what
I feel like you nailed it, though, Bray. He's projecting.
Yeah.
He really is, though.
Yeah.
He may not have meant it, but that's sure as hell how it came out.
Yeah.
I mean, those are words. It's tough to reel those back in.
It's also
This is not a. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go
This
ahead.
is not a small clip. We played the entire clip.
42 minutes.
There's a lot of different things you can take out of social media hits and things of that nature. I hated that draft pick, or I hated this hire, and you just take that part when really after you said I hated the hire until I looked up what he was all about.
Exactly.
Now I actually support it. Anybody who takes just the beginning of that thinks you hate the hire. Okay, but we didn't do that with Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I'm glad you said that. The power of just the last part
editing.
or the first part. I was watching Landman. I don't know if you guys out there watching. I might spoiler alert. Last episode. If you watch it, hey, this is your time to hit mute. I'm gonna say something.
Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Here we go. You watch the show, you're caught up, so you understand what happened in the last episode. Remember when they're in the police station and they're just showing you the one part.
The video where he beats the hell out of the guy.
And what did his attorney say? Hey, do me a favor.
Take that
Rewind it 30 seconds.
Yeah.
This isn't what you wanted to show me.
Yeah.
People do that all the time.
That's the part I'm going to show.
That's the part I'm going to show. And that last episode,
Yeah, she's smoking. She also, what did she say to the cop? When he shot somebody 11 times, you knew he
after
was done.
one.
Right, after
one.
So she goes, that's called preparation. She was prepared for the encounter, much like you were just asking Amon-Ra St. Brown to be prepared for the discussion of his new offensive coordinator.
Yeah. 1,000%. You got to be ready for that conversation. But also, too, I think but Amon-Ra is a prepared dude. Like, the reason why this clip hits a little different, J-Mo, we love you. This is not about you, okay? If J-Mo said that, I'm not really that interested. I mean, not that interested. I'm not really that, okay, we got to pull a bunch of sound bites. We got to break the sounds of talent. J-Mo said blah, blah, blah. It's like, all right, but J-Mo feels this way. He'll figure it out. Amon-Ra St. Brown is the calculated one. He's the one that speaks for the team. He's the one that's been like,
captain.
he's the guy on this team. So for him to have this kind of aloof, you guys, I don't know why it hits a little different. It hits different when Amon-Ra
I think
says
you're right. And here's what I think they fail to recognize. And maybe you even felt the same way when you played. You're going to be asking him about this in training camp. Okay? People, this is not going to be forgotten. Some member of the media is going to have to ask him this in training camp. Some member of the media might ask another Lions player. Next time a Lions player goes on this show or Big D Energy or Sean Baligian or whatever show, somebody's going to ask them about what St. Brown said. And then what?
They're going to ask Brent Petzing.
Yeah, they're going to. You're right.
And ask Coach Petzing about what St. Brown
Petzing
said.
will
Excuse me,
have to deal with that too. You're right. I mean, maybe Dan Campbell might have to. Hey, what are your thoughts on one of your captains saying that the fan base doesn't know ball? That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Okay? When you start talking in those generalities, whether you feel like we all think he's a good dude, there's no question he's a good guy, all right? But even good guys make mistakes, and even good guys say something they wish they had back. His is a podcast. It's not live, okay? You
could have edited it.
Yeah, you could have edited it.
Yeah, live from Greenland, though.
Hey,
what a name!
Are you live from Greenland?
Live from Greenland?
Have you guys been acquired yet? Are you guys
I hope so.
Is this the billionaires road that they're doing now? Oh, it's the faster pipeline to Russia. Got you.
He says people cried about Dan hiring his guys. Well, guess what? Dan didn't pick one of his guys like Daboll, and fans are still throwing a temper tantrum.
Say that again.
I think he sides a lot more with Amon-Ra. Right now in the chat, we also have the poll. It's dead split. Well, dead split 50-50. Do you agree with Amon-Ra St. Brown's comments on Lions fans? So get your vote in if you can. If you didn't, and smash the like button. But live from Greenland, USA, heck of a name, says people cried about Dan hiring his own guys. Well, guess what? Dan didn't pick one of his guys like Daboll, and fans are still throwing a temper tantrum.
Yeah, because we believe that, let me say we believe. I believe that the process wasn't finished. I believe he hired a person that, I don't know if this is the move that we needed. We're talking about a move to get this team back on track and to be the Super Bowl team that they promised us last season as well as the season before that. I don't know if this move is the one that moves the needle enough for me to believe in that team. This isn't Dan Campbell 3 years ago. This isn't 21, 22, 23, 24 where you're figuring it out. This is a situation where it's 2026. You figured it out. And now we're looking for you to close that door, or at least even open the door to get to the Super Bowl. And when you bring in Mike McDaniel and then you interview 8 other individuals, including Mike McDaniel, 9 in total, and you come out with Drew Petzing, and then we're looking at what he's done, what his team was, and this is like
this is blind faith, man. That's
exactly.
What it is. Yeah. You're asking for blind faith. And let's face it, and I'm not saying I wanted this guy, but when you have a well-known, well-established, with a strong track record like a Mike McDaniel going to the Chargers, who Braylon just pointed out are not as talented offensively, has a very quirky head coach, you would have guessed this would have been a much easier and more attractive fit for a guy like that. And the Lions came out, and what did they say? The Lions said it wasn't a fit. Why not? There was no explanation. Not that we always deserve one, okay? But why was there no explanation, okay? And with a guy who's got that type of track record, be honest with yourself. When you see this guy and what he's done for 3 years, does that instill a ton of confidence in you? And knowing that Dan has missed on a couple of offensive coordinators, does that instill trust? That's what I'm asking fans. That's all.
Almost would rather them not even said, well, he's not a fit. Just hire your guy and tell us why your guy is the guy.
Right.
And that would have made me
and then
a little
face
bit
the
more
questions
comfortable.
later. Agreed.
Yeah, I also don't like it from this standpoint. One of the big things that Brad Holmes talked about last year, the year before that, at the podium, after the season, the whole 9 yards, he doesn't pander to what the crowd wants. He doesn't pander, nor do the Lions, to what we think the move should be, who we feel like should be hired as a head coach, who we feel like should be hired as offensive coordinator, who we feel like should be drafted with the number 1 pick. He doesn't care. He's gone to great lengths to tell us that, correct? Well, then why did he bring in Mike McDaniel this year? He brought him in to appease the fan base. Hey, look, I brought in Mike McDaniel for you guys. You guys were claiming Mike McDaniel. He's the guy. He's innovative. He's one of the newer young style coaches. He comes from the Kyle Shanahan. So I brought him in for you, and then 2 days later you told him that he didn't fit. Then you hire the guy that you were going to hire all along 4 days later. So now this is very different than what you have been, because now you've addressed what the audience and fan base has been talking about. You brought Mike McDaniel in just so the fan base would say, oh, well, we bought Mike Daniel. Maybe it didn't fit. And then 2 days later, you come out, it doesn't fit. This just feels like the situation feels not better. It feels worse, if that makes sense. To the end of the season, to getting to this point, to where we are moving, where the Lions are, it feels like they're in a worse spot today than they were in when the season ended.
I think there are ways you can curb people's angst if you nip it in the bud right away.
Yeah.
And I think if a franchise, I'm not just saying the Lions, but anybody says, we've made the change and here's what we're doing. We're hiring Braylon Edwards as our offensive coordinator because we think from our research, and we trust a lot of the people we're associated with. Chris Spielman is vetting this guy. I trust Chris Spielman explicitly. But if we're bringing in a guy like Braylon Edwards to run our offense, this is what we liked about him. We feel like it's really important for us to get back to more play action passing. And we didn't do it nearly enough under our last offensive coordinator, and this is what Drew Petzing is all about. We want to see more 13 personnel.
Yeah.
We want to see more split backs. We want to see Jahmyr Gibbs split out more. These are the things we think are going to make us more successful, and he adds that to more than anybody else that we've interviewed because of what he did in Arizona. We'll give you a couple of examples. You can nip it all in the bud right there instead of leading to all the speculation. You may not know him. That's okay.
Yeah.
You don't know all the coordinators in the NFL. That's fine too. But here's what we like about this guy. I haven't heard that from them yet.
When is going to be the press conference? Because the fast way to nip something in the butt is the press conference, and that hasn't happened yet. So
Or a press release.
True. Like where there's some ideas, some conversation. But yeah, like if this is the guy though, Shep, if this is the guy, then where's the press conference? Where's this? Where's the hey? I know I'm hiring this guy. Boom. Hey, we're gonna announce you on Saturday or Sunday or Monday. Press conference is gonna be Tuesday, Wednesday. We're locked and loaded. Get ahead of these things. Let them, and then I will back you up. Hey, damn good to have Coach Petzing. This is why I feel comfortable in hiring. Boom, boom, boom. Go through all the things. Now introducing, Coach Petzing. So I want to see what that looks like before I finish. But just as of right now, it does not feel like we're moving forward with this hire and then Amon-Ra's conversation and everybody. Now you got people around the country, analyst-wise, like talking about Petzing. Like, wait, what is this?
I am always surprised at how
he was about to get a head coaching job. Like, where'd that come from all of a sudden?
Out of nowhere. I'm always surprised at how teams and coaches and owners and players in general don't think ahead of what could happen. In other words, when we make this hire, I just want you to know, there's going to be a lot of pushback.
Yeah.
This is how you get out in front of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what we talked about with the Tigers and Tarek Skubal. I just want you to know, you go to the table with $19 million.
Somebody's negotiating all of this.
There's going to be a lot of people who are going to use a number of different examples, whether it be Jack Flaherty, Alex Cobb, whomever, right, and tell you this is why you've lowballed your most important player. You guys are ready for that, right? Think ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
You go buy a house. Do you think, you know what, I'm going to have to put this much money into this. Somebody might overbid for me or ahead of me. All these different things. When these, to a certain extent, you've got to think almost the worst sometimes when it comes to this stuff. How do the Lions not think about that when they make this decision and they announce it with some information that might calm some people down?
Because as Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell told us, they're not into calming the fan base down because they're not into what the fan base thinks. They're into what their plan is, and their plan is the best one. So we'll see about that.
Well, I wasn't trying to laugh. The Braylon was preaching, but Randall Smalls got me. Everybody in the chat is talking about who they wanted, and he's like, Randall Smalls,
did he say
I want. You all sound like my ex-wife.
Yeah.
Chat is in ours, man.
I haven't even said who I want anymore. Like it's not even about a want anymore. It's about a feel. Like Shep always says, it's about me. I'm a feels guy. Like it's waiting to feel something, and I don't feel. And the reason why I don't feel that is because your star wide receiver, who's one of the top 5 best wide receivers in this league, he's talking about he doesn't know what the guy is. He's on Wikipedia. He has to figure it out. And it wasn't even a joke. He was dead. He was dead ass. As we say, he's figuring it out. There's been no conversation. There's just been this complete. Who? What? Even out of Allen Park, it doesn't seem like you guys are on the same page. Nationally, it seems like some of the people that support the Lions are coming out with other conversations to support the hiring of this. Like, this just feels it feels like everybody's in on the demise of the Detroit Lions.
I do think if there's a player who can get away with it, it's probably Amon-Ra St. Brown.
For sure.
As Coach Mack says, leave Amon-Ra alone, you crybabies. Yeah, because you like him.
Who cried about it?
Yeah, no one's crying about it. But you like him, so that's why you're willing to take that. If this is somebody else, if Marcus Davenport said this,
Lord have mercy.
How can you imagine? Okay,
Lord
so
have
Coach
mercy.
Mack, don't give me that. Somebody else said, Bill Belichick thought 0 of what fans think. Tom Brady thought 0 of what fan thinks. You appreciate them. Listen, they also got 5 rings. Okay?
7.
6 rings. Brady's got 7 overall, but together they had 6 rings,
well,
right?
By your same metric, what did the last 7 years of Bill Belichick look like in the Patriots? And then what did it look like when Tom Brady rolled up out of there? So relax on that. And we're not talking about Tom Brady. We're not talking about players. Like, what is that?
And not to mention,
why do people just make comments in it? Now I'm about to be like Amon-Ra St. Brown and go after the fans. Like, why do people just make comments? That comment made no sense. Like, we're talking about a guy that represents your franchise. He's talking about very nonchalantly. He doesn't even know who the offensive coordinator is years. That's the first thing he said. And then he goes on to say, well, the fan base, you guys don't know anything. You're crazy. He said, why don't you just listen, have patience? Well, the fan base has had patience.
Yeah.
They've had patience, and patience led them to 9-8.
Decade.
That led them to a not first round, but your first playoff game last year led you to a loss. Like, so you can calm down with all that.
Yeah, let me tell you something.
When
about
you win
patience.
something,
okay,
I'll push back.
This team's been around since 1930.
Yeah.
They've got 12 seasons of double-digit wins. This team's been around since 1930. They've got 9 division titles.
Power stats.
Okay?
Golly.
You want patience? You just brought up Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. That franchise, look at how many double-digit wins they have.
Yeah.
They have 28. Look at how many division wins. They've got more division wins since 2009 than you have in the history of your franchise. Yeah. So don't bring us that crap when you're talking about Brady and Belichick and asking us, oh, these guys were okay with it, so you should be okay with that from a guy like Amon-Ra St. Brown, who I like a lot. Yeah. But that just because I like him, just because he's good, doesn't mean he deserves to have the chance to just say, you know what, fans don't know what the hell they're talking about. Because you're the same guy who said, I don't know much about him either. I had to go look at Wikipedia of all places. Wikipedia. He's not calling. He's got contacts, man. Yeah. He could call guys in Arizona. Hey, Wilson, what up, man? Tell me about this my new offensive coordinator. He goes to Wikipedia, something that you would do. That's crazy.
I put it to you this way also, too. Since you want to bring up, Tom Brady and Belichick, I'll mix it in with the power stats. They won a Super Bowl by year 5. Has every other team or every other coach player that has ever won a Super Bowl, they won by year 5. You know how many years we in for Dan Campbell and Jared Goff? Exactly.
Yeah. Be careful with that stuff. Like, we have no problem accepting a lot of, the angst people feel on this. Yeah. And maybe you want to protect Amon-Ra St. Brown. Fine. You start bringing in examples like Brady and Belichick. First of all, just because they won rings, we never said it was good. I didn't like the way Bill Belichick handled the media. I don't like the way he handled fans. I don't like the way he handled just about anything. The dude could win, okay?
That doesn't mean he's always right. He had Brady, too.
Right. And Brady handled a lot of things okay sometimes. He handles it much better now, but as a player, I respect the hell out of players and how they have to answer so many questions and deal with all that. And I respect the hell out of the front office of the Detroit Lions. But just because I respect them doesn't mean I have to agree with everything that they've done. And I don't think they went about this the right way. There's nothing wrong with saying that. There's nothing wrong with Jack's Car Wash either, especially on a day like today. Go.
Because I respect them. Woodward Sports and Jack's Car Wash have partnered up to hook you up with a free car wash. Just text WSN to 888-522-1729. Side note, when I was parking my car right by Jack's Car Wash, you know what I noticed? They're wide open. They're open every single day to make it happen for you. Not every single day. I'm being a little bit exaggerative. But on a day like today where it's snowing, they were open. 40 metropolitan and Detroit locations. Pull up to one of them and get your car service. And don't forget about the unlimited car wash.
You know it's cold, man. It's going to be even colder this weekend. That means you need your furnace working. You need some heat in your house. And for over 40 years, Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning is the place to make sure you've got it. They're taking care of your neighbors. They're taking care of your family. They're taking care of your friends. They want to take care of you as well with fast, dependable emergency service. Go to their website, sharonsheating.com, or call them today and tell them the Braylon Edwards Show sent you. Their phone number is 734-238-3805. I know that because they gave it to us personally.
Sub-zero, icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill Sub-zero.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shepard Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
If you're looking to take relaxation to the next level, it's only Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills. It's the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest. And I'm telling you guys from personal experience, you want to go and you want to visit this. I'm going to have the information on how, but you can scan the QR code to get a jump on it. It features top tier brands like Infinity and Osaki. This is your destination for premium comfort and cutting edge wellness technology. Experience the difference with Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc, and creator of the #1 YouTube channel for massage chair reviews at the Wellness Doc. Book your visit today at massagechairhouse.com or simply scan the QR code on your screen. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
And both the Red Wings and Pistons are playing tonight. With that being said, you can place any bet up to $1,000. If you lose, you get it back.
Crazy sweet potato
Sounds
can.
crazy, right, Kool-Aid? All you got to do is scan this QR code, enter the code Woodward1000, and if your first bet doesn't hit, you'll get your deposit back up to $1,000. That's right, $1,000 back. Minimum bet, $20. Download the Caesar Sportsbook app today, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use code Woodward1000 or scan the QR code on the screen.
And we back.
Kool-Aid.
What up, though?
Tell us if we got some of those super chats going on, man.
We
We've been
do
rocking
gotta-
shut. It's an hour and 12 minutes.
Wow.
We've been rolling through, man. We can't forget about the good people in the chat, man. Appreciate you guys for always tuning into the show. Even the ones that have interesting things to say, Kool-Aid.
Hey, definitely. You know what? I'm going to read off a couple here, and then I have one that I'm going to save for last that I want you guys to dive into. But Freddie Felt 313, 199 Super Chat. He says, we as Lions fans, shout out to our brother Freddie Felt. He says, we as Lions fans are done being lovable losers. I feel him. Labartney, 499 Super Chat. Shout out to you, Labartney. Thank you for tapping in with us as much as you do. He says, shout out Braylon and Shep. He said he missed Big D Energy this morning and he hopes everyone stays warm in Michigan. Shout out Landman, which is banned in the UAE.
Oh.
Yeah, D Hint sends in a $9.99 super
Is it
chat.
an oil show? That's
yeah, he says people are saying DC and Brad wanted the guy that won't leave after 1 year. He said, let's say this new guy is the next Ben Johnson. I'm sure he will be interviewing after next season. It's a business, not a marriage. And then middle-aged sneaker chick.
Shout out. What up, though,
Do we know if Mike McDaniel wanted to be here? I'm just asking. And I've seen people in the chat continue to say, oh, man, do y'all even know if Mike McDaniel wanted to be here? If this was your only choice, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, wait a second. I feel like I remember Bray and Shep actually breaking down an entire segment on some other options.
Look, I understand that the people in this chat, and I appreciate everybody that chimes in, appreciate all the super chats, and we just appreciate you guys for tuning in and wanting to conversate. No negativity coming out of me, but I never asked for Mike McDaniel. Like, if you listen to the show, if you listen to what we've been saying since this has been an option, we've just talking about the people that were going to be interviewed by the Lions. I said I wanted Nate Shieldhouse. This is who I said. Shep was on the side of...
I wanted him or Zach Robinson.
Okay, Zach Robinson. We never said Mike McDaniel. Right. The example that we were providing about what Detroit is and drafting an individual, not drafting, but hiring an individual that doesn't move the needle, the example was just the fact that you brought in Mike McDaniel to appease the fan base. There was no interest there from the Lions, and you can tell because 2 days later they came out and said he didn't fit. So that's all I was saying is having your guy already pegged. I'm not making. I didn't want Mike.
And
McDaniel.
I remember Shep
I
making
never
the
said
case.
Mike McDaniel. So
Right.
don't make this
No, you
about. Well, did we even know if Mike McDaniel? No, he didn't want to be here. That's obvious because he didn't choose here. He left. He's out there. In his mind, he's with a better quarterback. That's why Mike McDaniel went out there. Since you want to have that conversation, is that what y'all really trying to say? Mike McDaniel probably is not here because he didn't want to play with Jared Goff and Justin Herbert. Is that what you want me to say? I don't know.
What you don't think Mike McDaniel wanted to be here? I thought the Lions were the ones who said 2 days later. Remember, you said they didn't feel like he was the right fit.
No, they said he wasn't the right fit. Who cares what they say? Because they say that's not true.
You think he didn't want to be here?
No, I didn't think he wanted to be here. I think once he sat down in that meeting room and he saw what the conversation and where the direction of the team was going, man, he didn't want to be here. And he didn't want to operate with what they were trying to do or what they weren't trying to do. Instead, he went out to Los Angeles. He has Justin Herbert. He'll have Joe Alt as well as Rashawn Slater. So he has an offensive line that's comparable. And he got some weapons out there in the sunny. So, hey, it is what it is. But I never said Mike McDaniel. I just thought it was interesting that for a team that doesn't pander to the fans, well, they brought in Mike McDaniel for you guys because all you guys got excited. Don't let him leave. Yeah. Don't let him leave Allen Park. We need Mike McDaniel. He's the one. Yes, in fact, he should be here because he can calm his mental down from everything that he dealt with in Miami. Like, that was you guys. That was the conversation. We were just simply saying why that may not have worked because I've never seen the team interview a guy 2 days later say he wasn't a fit. And then that guy go to a similar situation than the Detroit Lions. So,
and I remember Shep
I don't
also
want
making
Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, the case of not that Petzing isn't the guy,
Yeah.
but while there's some of these other names out there as well for a job this big, why not just take the necessary due diligence? Because something tells me Petzing would have still been there. And I'm not saying that the Lions didn't do their due diligence on Petzing, but it just seemed like this process went by so fast while other people were there. And now you see a guy like Brian Daboll who's going to be the OC of the Titans. And that was even a name that you just kind of kicked around.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you were saying that that's who you wanted here, but it's just interesting to see that after the Lions made their choice, you're still seeing some names and some people who I do believe could have helped drive the Ferraris that we have here go to some places that I would consider to be maybe even a little bit less than the Detroit Lions.
If that's the case, if he didn't want to be here, if you guys are worried about next year, you guys are worried about the wrong thing. If you're worried about stability, we're not after stability. We're after championships. We're not after, well, we'll get a guy. He can be here 3-4 years, man. He can really make his mark. Who cares about 4 years from now?
Agreed.
You were supposed to win the Super Bowl this year.
You may not even be here 4 years from now.
You're supposed to go to the Super Bowl last year.
Right.
And it didn't happen. So now I'm supposed to come up here and say, well, we're going to get a guy and it's going to be I think we got to pipe down on that. Because realistically, I want the guys going to come in here and do the best job. If it's for 1 year and then get hired, that also is another problem, Shep. Because then that means, does Dan Campbell not want the offensive coordinator to be bigger than he is? Because that's one of the big things with the Ben Johnson situation.
If that's true, and that's been reported, okay,
Right.
It has been reported. That's one of my big issues. My issue is if you're looking for stability. So we're kind of talking out of both sides of our mouth here.
We are.
If
Makes it
he's
fun,
well,
though.
I mean the Lions. I mean the Lions. Because if this dude, if everybody's
Lions.
telling us that this dude was a head coaching candidate, if he has a good year, you would guess he would be another head coaching candidate. Am I wrong? Okay. Right? Other organizations want success. Okay.
Absolutely.
So if that's the case, why is this guy, who's supposedly a previous head coaching candidate, if he has success, he would be a head coaching candidate too? What would be the difference between a guy like that and a Mike McDaniel or a Clint Kubiak or a Nathan Scheelheis or a guy like Zach Robinson? All these different guys. I want guys who are going to be successful, and I want to nurture them along. And you know what? If my tree grows far and wide, that means I'm a good head coach.
It is.
That means I've
It
done a
does.
really good job.
You know who else wants people? I'm gonna break this down in women terms. You know what I'm saying? And don't be offended. You know, it's not one of those type of situations.
I won't be.
Okay, I was talking to the women out there. I was talking to the women or people that identify. Like my thing is this. Oh, I forgot my thing. No, my thing is this: like women like when men are wanted by other women. Women don't go after men that are by themselves, lonely, not doing anything, don't have a track record about them. You ask a couple questions, and it's like, who are you? There's no traction here. I'm good on you. They want men that other people want. They want men that are married. They want men that are in relationships. They want men that you see them at the bar and you see interactions and conversations. Say, oh, he's got something going on for himself. I might want to go over there and say, man, let me introduce myself and see what's going on. Or maybe let me throw out a filler. He can come introduce himself to me. Bottom line.
Let me clear my throat.
I see you over there. There you go. Bottom line, people want people that people want. Like, that's the thing about this. So when I look at the situation, like, yeah, I'm a little bit, it's a lackluster hire because doesn't seem like anybody wants Petzing, including the Arizona Cardinals. So that's why you can have this conversation about it. I think you just want somebody that people want, especially in a situation where you know what you have in the garage. Like, when you know what you have in the garage, you're like, I just don't want to bring a guy in here that's going to be stable and provide some stability. Yeah, maybe we make a couple playoffs. Maybe we get back to the NFC Championship one. But there's no real threat to survive. I mean, to achieving the goal, which is the Super Bowl. So that's more so what I want. You want who people want.
How much do you put, for both of you guys into this? Because we've heard this from the organization, and D. Hint says with his 99 Super Chat, I'm going to just reread this. People are saying DC and Brad wanted a guy that won't leave after 1 year. Let's say this new guy is the next Ben Johnson. I'm sure he will be interviewing after next season. It's a business, not a marriage. But I'm still having a hard time kind of processing what that even means. Because if Petzing does come here and he is good and other teams want him, doesn't this, drum up that whole notion again? Or is there something around the league where people know, he's not that type of material? So it just kind of leaves me in a situation where I'm trying to decode what they're telling us about the guy, because we don't know much about the guy, and they haven't really given us much other than, hey, we went after the guy that we think, to use your analogy, ain't going nowhere.
But aren't you hoping that he does so well, like I am?
Yeah,
he does so well that suddenly he's a
candidate.
candidate. Yeah. Okay? I don't think Bill Walsh, when he was putting his staff together, and his staff included Sam Weish, and it included George Seifert, and included Dennis Green and Mike Holmgren. I don't think there was ever a point in time, or Nick Saban, when he's putting all his coaching staffs together, where he's going, you know what? Here's my fear. My fear is I'm going to have Braylon on my staff, and after 1 year, somebody's going to take him from a wide receivers coach, and they're going to make him an offensive coordinator. Instead, what I hope he would do is, you know what? I've got a guy who's a wide receivers coach. He's going to be a really good offensive coordinator someday, and I hope you go get him.
Well,
because eventually, I want you to be a head coach.
Yeah.
That's what I hope every coach would feel that way. I'm not saying Dan Campbell doesn't. Yeah. It just seems like it's odd when I hear from sources or read from sources that, well, they want someone with stability. Was this guy not stable? Not that you and I wanted him, but was Mike McDaniel not stable? Was Zach Robinson not stable? I think all these guys are pretty stable, are they not? They've got a proven track record. That shows me stability.
This sounds like, once again, Landman. Not the last episode, the episode before that. What did she say at the very end of this end of the episode? She was like, I can't have a president that's scared. Yeah. I can't have a president that's just trying to just coast and chill and scared to take risks.
Demi Moore when she said that.
100%. Yeah, so the stability thing, it just throws me. Like, if Lions fans as well as Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, or if you're so focused on the stability and guys that won't be here, then you're clearly not paying attention to what 2026 is, what 2025 was, actually what the last 6 years have been. Coordinators are doing 1 year and getting out of there, 2 years getting out of there.
Right.
That's what's happening. That's what's happening. So what you should want to hire somebody that comes into the situation, cooks with grease, put you in a situation where you want to be, gets hired, because you know what this will become. You know it now becomes the thing. That OC job for the Detroit Lions, that's the fastest way to get a head coaching job.
I'll guarantee you that Andy Reid is thrilled these days because you know what? Brad Childress, who was under him, became a head coach. John Harbaugh just got a job with the Giants. Steve Spagnuolo has won some rings on his staff and was a head coach. Pat Shurmur, the former Spartan, he was a head coach. Ron Rivera was a head coach. Leslie Frazier was a head coach. Yeah. All those guys played a different role under Andy Reid. They all eventually became head coaches or were better. Well, yeah, some of them were. You're right. But some of them, what they did was they maneuvered their way and became really successful coordinators like Spagnuolo, like Leslie Frazier. But at least they got promotions.
Yeah. The Lions fans are scoring right now because, Ben Johnson came in here, he did his thing for a second, he left. So I think the leaving part, that sticks with him. But this is just the way of the NFL. This is just the way. How many people at Sean McVay bumped up to offensive coordinator and they've been there a year or two and they've been out of there? Like, at least 7.
Yeah.
At least 7 since his first Super Bowl with the St. Louis Rams at the time. But so you just got to be. This is the world we live in. It happens fast. If you're waiting for a 4-year stability, that means you're pushing it down the line in terms of when the Lions need to have this success.
Let's look at the Cardinals' offense under Drew Petzing and how it ranked.
Jacoby Brissett, he made some plays.
You know, if Jacoby Brissett was available,
Yeah.
I think he'd be a really good backup.
I think
fit.
so.
I'd take him in a second.
Backup quarterback's going in the AFC Championship. We can talk about that too.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Jarrett Stidham. So you've got these are the numbers. I don't know if people could see it on the board, but we're going to explain it real quick. In 2023, points per game. Usually these are the most important statistics that people look up. All right, points per game, they were 23rd. In yards per game, they were 19th. Rushing yards, 4th, which is great. Okay, they were relatively healthy that year, and passing yards, they were 26th. The following year, they were even better in points per game. They were better in yards per game. They were about even in rushing per game, and they were better in passing yards per game. And then in 2025, when they had a lot of injuries, all those numbers dipped significantly, except passing yards per game. You would think, coming to a better, more stable situation where you've got the same receivers, you've got the same quarterback, you've got a uber talented running back, they're going to fix the offensive line even though you have one stud up there, and hopefully Ratledge is that the numbers for Detroit would go up from what you see there. Here's the difference. Detroit's numbers are better than all those. Even last year, their numbers are better than those. And I know when people talk about this is the whole mantra that people are using right now. This is the theme. He had to deal with a lot of injuries. There was no James Conner. There was no Kyler Murray, who, by the way, hasn't improved under Drew Petzing anyway.
Marvin Harrison missed
missed
6 games.
Yeah, but remember, he was also viewed as, by some, unfairly so, as a bust early on because he was too many drops. What about Detroit's injury issues? Detroit had better numbers than that, and they had some injuries. Okay.
Yeah, Jordan from MI said if we wanted a OC that wasn't going to go anywhere, we should have just retained John Morton.
That's a great point. And let Dan keep calling the plays. Right? Excellent point. I don't know if he's going to be John Morton. I don't know if he's going to be better than him. I don't know if he's going to be worse. Yeah. Okay? It's okay to admit that. All we're saying is that when you vetted, and they vetted a lot of people, they vetted two guys one guy that I liked, and Zach Robinson obviously didn't see it. They didn't get the chance to vet the guy you wanted.
Right.
Was it complete? Was it complete? And why? That's the whole thing we're waiting for. Why him?
I think people also, too, this is on a lighter note. You know, we can bring it back down. I think on the funny note, it's also he's a funny-looking dude. Like, he's a funny-looking dude. When you look at him, he's like, that's the offensive coordinator? He kind of look like a bizarro. What's the Lex Luthor?
I guess Anson said Megamind.
You know,
definitely Megamind.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, because of the baldness. I think
also the indentions on the side kind of has the Megamind bulbous head. If you,
I think he looks a little like Kevin James without hair.
Oh snap!
Am I wrong there?
I don't. Oh snap! I don't think I can see this now.
Just a little bit.
See a little bit.
A bald Kevin James.
Yeah, just a little bit, and a thinner Kevin James.
Oh snap!
That's,
you know what?
Not too far ahead.
That's Kevin James on the Ozempic.
Did he play in the movie Dune?
Somebody in the chat said
Dune
looks like the Addams Family member.
No, Dune.
that's
D-U-N-E.
That would be Uncle Fester. Somebody else in the chat. Nobody wants to coach an overrated game managing quarterback. Sorry, but Goff is the guy that will take y'all to a Super Bowl.
I've seen that. A couple people believe that
nobody wants to
coordinators are avoiding Goff.
Wait a minute. Nobody wants to coach an overrated game managing quarterback.
Some fans think that's what's going on. Some fans. I've seen that in a certain wing of social media that Goff might be who like Mike McDaniel, Daboll, and some of these others are avoiding because they instantly talk about, Justin Herbert. Daboll was talking about his affinity for Cam Ward. So,
do you think? And I get that. Do you think
Mike McDaniel's best friend is who, or like one of his friends, Shaman Bay, the whole 9 yards. So of course they're going to be on.
Yep. On that side.
He always Goff like, well, he got rid of Jared Goff. That my homeboy did. So
Braylon always reminds us that the personal side of these things
it's like
are
WWE
often
right
it's
now.
really important.
Yeah.
It's really important. Do you think Goff is a game manager? Would you describe him as a game? I would. I would never describe him as a game manager.
Every quarterback is a game manager. So like I'm starting to that is kind of going out the window. Like, because the game managers are all quarterbacks except they said the guys that were mobile, like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, et cetera, who are all sitting at the house right now. So I get it. Everybody's managing because everybody needs talented wide receivers. Everybody needs a running game. Got to have offensive line. Got to have a really good coordinator. Everybody's dependent on that system to have success as a quarterback. So to some extent, every quarterback is a manager. Some more than others.
Okay. Well, how do you think most people, not you, define game manager? A guy who dinks and dunks and doesn't take many risks.
How many games can you win?
Yeah, there you go.
Like if you can't win any games on your own, then you're a manager.
Right.
Like if it's some games, like Caleb Williams this year, I'm sorry, Bears not haters, but Caleb Williams won some games this year.
Sure he did.
Like he won some games. He was the reason that they won some games. Sam Darnold this year may have one under his belt. As good as the season was, he may have a game that he won. I'll give him credit for the last 4 minutes of the Rams game in overtime.
Okay.
I'll give him credit for that. So that's a win.
Didn't do squat last week.
That's why I said maybe one win.
Yeah.
I went from like that. So can you win a game? And if you're talking about Jared Goff, I think if everything goes right, he can. But it's a real conversation to have. If I'm a head coach, if I'm an offensive coordinator interviewing with the Lions, I'm thinking about Jared Goff, I have to play out his 10 years in the league. I'm like, well, he was with McVay, couldn't get it done at the highest level. McVay got rid of him. That's essentially what happened. He comes here, revamps the career, ramps it up, and then right when he's supposed to, take off, he had 5 turnovers, yet again, a Jared Goff performance in the Commanders game last year. So I do have to look at those things, but that's not going to be the only thing.
Okay, so if that's your definition, I love the definition, and I would adhere to that, although somebody disagrees with that in the chat. Crypto Nick TV says the literal definition of game manager is a quarterback that does not put up elite numbers but finds a way to win. That's the exact opposite of Goff, who leads on all passing categories for his career. Well, since he's gotten to Detroit, not for his career. I don't think that's literally the definition, but I hear where you're coming from, and I agree with Braylon. When Braylon says a game manager is somebody who needs everybody else, and how many times are you winning games on your own, understanding that football is the ultimate team sport. With your definition, would you agree that Jared Goff is or is not then? Based on your definition, can he win games himself? I think he can. And I think he has.
And that's the hard part. What is by himself?
Yeah.
Because, you can say he's got 2 playoff wins here in Detroit. He beat the Rams. It was a great game. Came down to the wire. Same thing with the Tampa Bay win. They beat Baker. That game kind of came down to the wire a little bit. He was lights out in both those games, realistically. So, he played well in those games. But, like, where's the moment, I think, it's like the people that are against Goff, where's the moment that you can point to? He's like, ooh.
Yeah.
Man, that throw or that play or that scramble to just get out the pocket a little bit or to, with the game on the line,
Yeah, the throw in the end zone, but it was a great catch by Laporta. Yeah, it's a very fine line.
That was a hell of a catch.
So this is really funny. This is really funny because somebody said, and they're right about this, I think. It's from Real Cream of Wheat.
I like cream of wheat.
Love how all Lions discussions devolve into Goff. He's right. But just so you know, we didn't do it. We took it from the chat. Yeah. That was the difference. Okay. We got to take a quick timeout. And then on the other side.
If you talk about an offensive coordinator, like who's the player that's going to come up?
The quarterback.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so, of course, when you're talking about the Lions getting a new offensive coordinator, you're going to want to know, how does that coordinator fit with the quarterback? Like it or not, it is the most important position on the field.
And when you interview 9 offensive coordinators, when you interview 9 people for an offensive coaching position, you interview 9, and then you come out and say one doesn't fit. The other 8 probably didn't fit as well. Now the question becomes, what made those who – because not everybody – in my opinion, not everybody went there and was told, well, we appreciate you, it's just not our fit. Not everybody was told that. Some people were the ones saying, I think I'm good. Why was it that those people said I'm good would be my question. That's how you get back to go.
When we come back, it's an annual thing with me, but I can't help it, okay? A defensive Lou Whitaker, a really good and recent example, after this from Dr. Pierce and Buddies.
Dr. Pierce is the guy. I went to the office today, got my arm together. They did the ultrasound, make sure everything was operating in the right way. They recommended some PT for me. I got that tomorrow, as well as they gave me some medicine for a script. They got me right, and they can get you right too. Dr. Pierce is the guy. 248-426-9944. Michigan Sports and Spine. They've been doing it for a while. It's right there in Livonia. Access, and also too, man, it doesn't take long to get you in and get you fitted. This is where I go. This is where you should go too, man. And also catch them on Thursdays on this show.
Buddy's Pizza is as good as it looks. Now, you don't necessarily see it there because it's a picture of a present. It's a Buddy's present. But if you had the real thing looking at you right in the face, you couldn't help yourself. You'd have to dig into it right away, and for good reason. It is the original Detroit-style pizza. It's been doing it the right way since 1946. It's been giving you so many choices throughout the state, like 20 different locations, and giving you deals like this one. Save 10% off your entire order using promo code 10MEAL today.
How's that?
That looks much better. Of course, now you're making me even hungrier because I'm seeing the Detroit-style pizza,
now.
the original, and I want it in my belly.
Let me get that corner
off
slice.
your entire order using promo code MEAL.
I'm
That's
the corner
10MEAL. Go to buddyspizza.com.
Lady Jane's haircuts for men, and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's haircuts for men. It's wicked awesome.
It's game on at Art and Jake's. Wings, burgers, pizza, and ice-cold drinks served up with attention to detail. Wall-to-wall TVs, great service, and a vibe that keeps your crew coming back. Art and Jake's, a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep,
Do you believe this comeback?
your favorite sports commentator, as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill sub-zero. Icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill sub-zero.
Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Doesn't sound good to just get a nice sizzling steak cooked to perfection, man. I'm talking about adding some broccolini on the side with it.
Hey!
All right, Shep, here you go. Loaded baked potato, man. Yeah. What about that, man? Some of these scallions, lobster. What about a little surf and turf? You know what I'm saying? What about these things? This is what Black Rock can provide you. Black Rock Bar and Grill, a sizzle above the rest.
Shrimp.
Mention Woodward Sports and get 20% off the bill. We're telling you, man, you got to pull up the Black Rock. They are the place that sizzles. And also, how about you try the new Darren McCarty Enforcer Cut, 25-ounce ribeye inspired by the legend himself. Order the Enforcer Cut at your local Black Rock today. Now, for a chance to win 2 tickets to LCA to see them play against the Avalanche on the 31st, or a Darren McCarty signed jersey, this is what you do. Post a picture of your steak using hashtag BREnforcerCut. I know it's, but you got to type all of that. And hashtag giveaway. Hashtag BREnforcerCut and the hashtag giveaway. The winner will be announced on the 28th by the legend himself, Darren McCarty. So we will see you there, see if you win. And don't forget, Black Rock, a sizzle above.
Man, that looks so good. Guys, we like to keep things simple, uncomplicated. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men feels the exact same way. Walk in, sign in. Before you know it, you're going to be handsome, you're going to be clean, and you're going to be out the door. Lady Jane's, open 10 till 8, 7 days a week. We invite you to walk in anytime because it is wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
And we back.
Last night, we recognized there are 2 new members to the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. It will be, and look at they're deserving. All right, Carlos Beltran, Andrew Jones.
It's my guy.
Yeah,
Shout out to the Braves.
Yeah, and Andrew Jones was such a good defensive player. Man. But both of them really good. Beltran, 9-time All-Star, 3-time Gold Glove winner, one of 4 players ever with 2,700 hits, 400 homers, 500 runs scored, 300 stolen bases. Jones, 10 Gold Gloves. So keep this in mind. Al Kaline had 10 as well. So that gives you an idea of just how good he was in center field. So they're going to join Jeff Kent, who was elected by the Contemporary Committee in December. As I looked at...
Does that count?
It does.
I was going to ask you.
Absolutely. I mean, Jack Morris and Alan Trammell got there. I think they were Hall of Famers anyway.
Okay.
And I think Jeff Kent is deserving. I do. As I looked at all the numbers that were being posted, one number jumped out at me more than anything else, and it was Chase Utley. And Chase Utley was a good player. For 14 years, he was a good player, primarily with Philadelphia. He's a second baseman.
Yeah.
And it's his 3rd year.
He beat the Yankees.
Okay, 3rd year. Mm-hmm. He jumped 19% from last year to now at 59%. You need 75% to get there, all right? And you got 10 years to do it, just in case people were wondering, all right, to get in the Hall of Fame. He jumped 19% to 59%. Immediately, my blood started to boil a little bit. And here's why. Let me just give you, and I know people shake their head, they roll their eyes. It happened to me when I was calling Tigers baseball for over 5 years, where people said, enough about Lou Whitaker. I can't help it.
Sweet Lou.
Okay, I'm sorry, I can't help it. So if you don't like it, you don't want to indulge, feel free to leave. Okay? But I've got to get this off my chest, and I do it every year. I think Lou Whitaker is a Hall of Fame second baseman. I don't make that judgment. I look at the rest of the men who are in Cooperstown and played that position. Chase Utley has received 59% of the Hall of Fame vote. Lou Whitaker received 2.9% in his first year and was bounced. You need 5% to stay on. 2.9%. This is how stupid some of the voters truly are. Now, let me give you something. Chase Utley was a 6-time All-Star. Lou Whitaker was a 5-time All-Star. Chase Utley won 4 Silver Sluggers. So did Lou Whitaker. Chase Utley never won a Gold Glove. Lou Whitaker won 3 of them. Chase Utley's career batting average was .275. Lou Whitaker's was .276. Chase Utley hit 259 homers. Lou Whitaker 244. 1885 hits for Utley. 2369 for Whitaker. 1,025 RBIs for Utley. 1,084 for Whitaker. A 64.6 WAR for Utley. A 75.1 WAR for Whitaker. Which one deserved the 2.9% vote? Which one deserves to be at 59%? Which one deserves to be in the Hall of Fame more? And which one is getting on track to go in the Hall of Fame? What in the hell are we doing? It doesn't make any sense. We've said this about the College Football Hall of Fame, and I'll continue to say this about baseball's Hall of Fame. The Tigers and some of their great players, and he was a great player, deserve to be there. I would like to know why he's not.
Preacher.
Your team has to lobby for you, and that's what it comes down to. The Tigers don't lobby for Lou. That's why he's not back on the ballot. That's why they can't do things like you either make it early. You make it early on, like with your play, when your team stays consistent, if the team is doing good, because it's also about politics too. So as the team stays relevant, as the team stays good, as they're doing good things, they want to have their guys go in because now it's a push. And I think that wave, they never pushed for him. They had some really good years from 2006 to 2013 where that was the ramp up, that was the push. They never chose to, and it didn't happen. You look at Chase Utley, his team is Philly. Philly's in the postseason every year. Philly's a big brand right now with Bryce Harper. Now, they can't win anything, but every single year, you're going to pick them to be close or pick them to be on par, and that's what they've done. So now what do they want? They want some Philly representation, and they're trying to get their guy into the Hall of Fame because it looks good when one of your guys gets in. It's about the brand. It's about the team. So I think a lot of teams, they fall short on this. And then when you have a lot of changeover, like we have a lot of changeover from the time you played to the next time period, those people aren't lobbying for you. Those people aren't necessary. Say, hey, you know what? We got to get this guy into the Hall. What do we have to do? What's the necessary precautions not precautions, but what is the necessary measures that we need to take? How do we get this guy in? Yeah, it's a new owner. It's a new coach. It's a new skipper. It's years removed. That's why the further you get away from it, the harder it is. Speaking from experience.
I don't know, and I had a Hall of Fame voter on earlier today, and they were talking about, I asked the criteria.
Yeah.
And the criteria, he said, was, look, they've got to be one of the best players of their generation. Okay. How are you measuring that? Oftentimes I'll ask voters. Or if you don't want to look just at statistics, and like we were just talking about Drew Petzing, right?
Yeah.
Petzing, and we're talking about how his offense was faring, and it wasn't super complimentary. If I can't measure Lou Whitaker against Chase Utley,
yeah,
should I measure him against past Cooperstown inductees at second base? And if I do that, and I come to you and I say that his numbers are as good, if not better, than Joe Gordon, they're better than Johnny Evers, they're better than Bobby Dorr. Tell me what I'm supposed to use as the template, and then I can make the case. Right now, I'm making the case against certain guys who are already in the Hall, and a guy who's getting more numbers, more votes than a guy like Lou Whitaker. I can't figure this out, and nobody can explain it to me.
Every time you get like the Hall of Fame things, that's why I say the more you get removed, they got to make room for that next wave of players. They got to make room for the next trending players of a certain era that they want to see and they want to hear. And unfortunately, they don't care about Sweet Lou. Sweet Lou and what he did for the Tigers back in the day, that's not what they're worried about. They're now worrying about the players that were elite in 07, 08, 09, 2010, 2011, 2012, so that when they're doing these ceremonies, when they're inviting people out to Cooperstown or when they're doing press releases or doing events, it's people that people are going to come see and come support. Same with the NFL. You don't think they look at that list of names that they have for nominations every year, and then they start to look at as it gets narrowed down, who's performing in the Hall of Fame game this season, who's going to be a good team this year. Like who? I still laugh when Tony Baselli got in, not because he wasn't a good player. He's a really good player for 6 years.
Yeah,
really good player for 6 years, maybe even 7. Like he had Hall of Fame-ish, but you're still like, it wasn't enough. Couldn't get in. The first time that the Jacksonville Jaguars are relevant since he's been a player, guess who gets in the Hall of Fame that year?
Yeah.
Guess who gets in the Hall of Fame the year the 49ers start making their rise and they make it to the Super Bowl? Oh, it's the GM, John Lynch. So it's Hall of Fame is a political tool much like anything else. And your organization, your franchise, your university, they got to lobby for you and they got to keep you in mind because that's the only way you'll get in.
Yeah, I think you're dead on with that. When people have told me who have these votes, and they'll tell me, look, how he's got to be one of the best of his generation for a certain period of time. They can never tell me how long that time is. Yeah. There was a period of time of 5 consecutive years where Lou Whitaker was an all-star. Lou Whitaker was getting some MVP votes. Lou Whitaker was a Silver Slugger. Lou Whitaker was a Gold Glover. And even the last year that he wasn't an all-star, the following season, he had better numbers in a lot of the numbers he had put up the previous season. Not in every category, but in a lot of them. So don't tell, is that a big enough sample size for you? And then when somebody told me earlier today, they said, well, he did play 19 years. Why are we penalizing guys who have longevity? How are we penalizing a player who played an extended period of time and was there ready to play on a regular basis? Now we've got guys who are opting out, guys who need certain rest, guys who won't take a chance. This dude was out there every single day for his team for the most part and putting up numbers on a regular basis and doing it for a long time. And we're going to hold that against him? To me, it makes no sense. But I think you're right about this. And I know somebody in the chat said, Shep's not even a Tigers fan, which is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in this chat.
Yeah,
absolutely, asinine. I'm the guy who goes to bat for these guys on a regular basis. Lance Parrish, Mickey Lolich, Bill Freehan, Lou Whitaker. I think they all belong there. Yeah. I want what you want. I want what's better for this organization. Just because I don't sit there and bow and sit there and go take a knee every single time doesn't mean I don't love it. I love that English D more than just about anybody. Probably anybody who owns that team, anybody who works for that team. I'll guarantee you that. But the bottom line is, this is a guy who deserves to be in there, and that 75.1 WAR is as good as you will find from anybody who's still not in the Hall of Fame. Where is the support? That's what I want to see.
In 2025 in the NFL Hall of Fame class, you ready? Eric Allen. What team did he most notably play for? All right, Eagles. Who won the Super Bowl last year, and who was the number one team in the NFC going into the playoffs?
Eagles.
Oh, there you go. All right, Jared Allen, he also got in. Who was 13-4 last year?
Kansas City.
And
Minnesota.
There you go.
He was with
both of his teams.
Yeah.
Both of his teams. Oh, there you go. Antonio Gates. Shout out to Detroit in the building. Last year was Jim Harbaugh's first year coaching, where, you guessed it, the Los Angeles Chargers, who made it back to the playoffs. And then Sterling Sharp got in, and we know why he got in. It's because his brother lobbies for him as a brother should. I'm not saying he should. Lobbies for him every single day until they got him in.
You're not saying all of them don't belong in.
Hell no, they belong.
You're just saying it's unique with the time.
100%. Yeah. And then, by the way, I think Green Bay was in the playoffs too. It's a political machine. Because when are you announcing these players? You're announcing them during the playoffs. Yeah. When are you bringing them on the field? During the Super Bowl. Like, it's always good when you have like a relevance to, like, you walk out on the field and who's in the Super Bowl last year?
There's a connection there. Yeah.
So, like, the politics has taken over a little bit more. The players that get in, they deserve to get in. But you're going to see players get jumped based on the relevance of what's going on that particular year.
The timing is interesting. Yeah. We're all caught up with everything. You want to get some super chats before we're out of here, and maybe anything from the mailbag?
Oh, definitely. We got a couple of super chats here for sure.
51 after the hour. I can't get over it. Go ahead.
This one definitely flew by. Yeah. Definitely. But we got Dante151. Shout out to Dante, man. 499 super chat said there's only one person who is Uncle Fester, and he is an assistant coach in the NHL, and that is Derek Lalonde. Two side by side of the two.
Newsy.
We'll have that for tomorrow.
That's a good one.
Yeah, we'll have that tomorrow. Yeah, for sure.
And here's another one. Just Lil Brian sends in a $20 super chat. He jumped to number one. He got the number one crown today in our chat. He says, I'm starting to hate when Dan and Brad say we have a plan. Because in 5 seasons, it feels like that's just an excuse to be mediocre. We had a chance to bring in elite players when our core was young and failed to do so.
Also, too, before you pay a lot of them individuals that you're still trying to figure out if you should have paid them or extend them.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. Anytime we do that, I want to know how you felt at the time. I don't want to hear armchair quarterbacking. I thought it was great they extended the guys they extended. So am I going to be wrong about Kirby Joseph? It sure seems that way. All right? Did I think they were going to do it with Jamison Williams? No. Would I have done it? No. Probably wrong about that too, because maybe that was a good thing that they did that. Yeah. This guy's a 1,000-yard receiver in back-to-back seasons. So I would have been wrong in that regard. I don't have any problem admitting that, but I want to know how people feel when that happens, because I think most people felt like it was appropriate with St. Brown and with Goff and with Sewell. Yeah. So you tell me how you feel at the time, and then we can judge afterwards, because that's what it is. It's about real time more than armchair quarterbacking, for me anyway.
I will say one of the thoughts that I did have at the time, and I still have now, paying Jared Goff $50 million was never a problem for me. It was the going rate for quarterbacks, and you have a quarterback that you trust and has gotten you to, what, $50 million is the going rate.
I agree with that.
That extra $3 million always caught me off guard. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Because if you would have told me in 2023 we're paying Jared Goff, or 2024 we're paying him $50 million, You should. 100%. One, you got yourself a deal, and then two, that's what the going rate was, and he had success. 53, I know it's only $3 extra million, but every million counts.
This is a good one from Real Cream of Wheat. Goff haters never saw Scott Mitchell as our quarterback. God, that is so true. God almighty.
Don't sleep.
That's a good one.
Scott got a lot of records out here, man. Scott did his thing.
Yeah, Herman Moore, Johnny Morton, Brett Perriman, Barry Sanders helps. Go ahead.
You could have started in reverse and stopped.
David Sloan, yeah.
Barry. Yeah.
Hey,
Is it Jared Goff haters though? Like, I feel like you can't have a conversation about Jared Goff without somebody calling you a hater.
I think you're right.
Like, you can't say anything. Like, even if you say good things about Jared Goff, they'll insinuate that you said.
We know
something
somebody
else.
like that. No, you're 100% right. It's almost
two people. One sits in his chair.
If you start talking about, if you mention that name, there's a defense force field that jumps out.
Right.
Okay. It really is like Aquaman in the ocean, where he sends out this force field and all the animals come, and he's just waiting to pounce.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I
And Jared Goff is a guy you want to say good things about, but if you happen to say, but the one thing, oh my gosh, he's not Captain America, man. I mean, he's not going to be able to deflect everything. Every quarterback has some type of deficiency.
Yeah.
Some are just a little bit more accentuated. His is accentuated. I don't think you need a mobile quarterback to win a Super Bowl. There's two. One of the guys in the NFC is going to win a Super Bowl or going to play in a Super Bowl. And it's either Matthew Stafford or Sam Darnold. Neither one of them will get confused with Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, or Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Sure.
This is true, but we now live in a different era too, with the people that clamor the mobile quarterback. Like, when you say mobile doesn't mean you have to run a 4-3. Mobile doesn't mean you're going to rush for 1,000 yards. Mobile means when the pocket collapses, you can get outside the pocket and get 2 yards. You can get outside the pocket and get a pass down the field. That's mobile. Justin Herbert is mobile. Drake May is mobile. Bo Nix is mobile. CJ Stroud is mobile. Jordan Love is mobile. All the quarterbacks have a little bit level of that mobility. So in today's NFL, you got to have a level of that. Matt Stafford and Matt Stafford.
Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
maybe they're the exception.
Well, Stafford's the exception because Stafford still can sling that thing, and he can get exactly where he needs. Sam Darnold played. I don't want to hate on Sam Darnold. Even Sam Darnold has a little bit of athleticism. He can get out of the pocket. He can deceptively run.
Goff can do a little bit of that. He's not going to win a bunch of races, but he can get out of the pocket, and he slides in the pocket very well.
My issue with Goff as it relates to the mobility thing is neither he nor Tom had any mobility. We infamous laugh at Tom Brady's 40-yard dash during the combine.
Yes.
Like, we get all that. Tom Brady, though, throughout his career, since you want to bring up Tom Brady about an hour ago, Tom Brady throughout his career got faster. He got faster. He got more mobile. He did the things, and that actually got him out of New England because Bill didn't like his trainer, per se. He did the things to become a better version of himself as it relates to moving in the pocket. So I don't need Jared Goff to become a 4-3 quarterback. I don't need him to do 100-yard gashes to work on his speed. Those days are long gone. Right. But I do need him to do more drills to work on when the pocket breaks down, getting up in the pocket, getting to the right of the pocket, getting to the left of the pocket. Those are things that he can get better at this year.
Agreed.
Yeah, and this is an interesting one here from, who is this? Dium, D-I-U-M 303 says, fellas, I appreciate you talking about the coordinators, but ultimately it's about the players who we are targeting in free agent. What do you all think, and this is a familiar name, about Trey Hendrickson on the other side of Aiden?
Well, I love him, but I wouldn't pay him.
This isn't a luxury year. Unfortunately, it's not a luxury year to go out and spend that money on a player like that. I love him as well. I think he'd be really good here. I think he'd be great on the opposite side. And I think he is for whatever that's worth, a culture guy that fits Detroit Lions, et cetera, et cetera. This isn't a luxury year, though. The money that we have, it's aimed in a lot of different directions. So making it a swing that big, I would love it. We don't have the cash for it.
We just don't. And he's 31. So that means he'll probably be 32 during the season next year.
Like, we were sitting here contemplating the possibilities of keeping Lopez and AQM.
Yeah, I
'Cause
wouldn't keep AQM either for the amount of money that he's due. Look, the obvious name. This is not earth-shattering. Tyler Linderbaum is the guy. I mean, he's 26. He's the
that's
center
where the
for
money
Baltimore.
needs to go.
That's where the money probably should go. But you're going to have to replace a lot of other players. Are you going to go get Brian Cook from Kansas City, a 26-year-old safety? What is it? What are you going to look like at linebacker? Is Devin Lloyd from Jacksonville a guy? You know, I don't. I mean, he's 27. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't know their salary cap situation right now. Nobody
Linebacker
does.
could become a problem quick.
For sure. We don't unless you draft one. We don't have what the cap is going to be yet, so it's unfair to speculate in that regard.
You also get money each year, though, so they'll get a little extra cash.
For sure. We just don't know how much.
Yeah.
Yep. So, look, I'm with you on that. I would just remind people, everybody wanted, including yours truly, I said they should at least kick those tires, a guy like Jalen Phillips. Jalen Phillips wasn't very good for Philadelphia. At age 27, what would he cost? Would he take a short-term deal? Those are so many questions that are unanswered right now. I like Matt Milano. He's a linebacker for Buffalo. He's 31. Would he sign a one-year deal? I'd do it in a minute if he'd sign a one-year deal. If he's a Matt Milano, he's probably not doing it. Because he's the same age as Anzalone.
He's a good linebacker. He just stayed hurt for a lot of his years, man. Like he could have, because I liked him a lot as a linebacker. And whenever he's healthy, he plays hard. Man, he stays injured.
Mm-hmm. Rasheed Walker, a tackle for Green Bay. It'd be a really nice fit unless you draft one. So there's too many questions.
Speaking of, you said Rasheed
Walker.
Rasheed Walker. Okay. Yeah. Speaking of Rasheed, hey, John Snyder might be my favorite GM, man. Like just for following him from 2011 till now. John Snyder does a lot right. Rashid Shaheed, that's what made me think about about John Snyder. Like
he's been really good.
Like he's built this franchise up in four different ways. He built it up the first time because I played on it in 2012, but built that franchise up, won the Super Bowls, retracted, moved some space.
He's referring to Seattle, by the way.
Seattle, 100%. And then they built the Russell Wilson, let Russ cook thing. That built up for a second, got rid of Russ, got Geno to the first round of playoffs twice, revamped that. Now they're the number one seed in the NFC. Like it
takes talent to be able to do that, where you're not down for very long.
He picked up Rashid Shaheed, and everybody's like, oh, well, yeah, he's just a burner. The game that turned the season around for the Seattle Seahawks, how did it start?
Yeah.
Rashid Shaheed punt return. Yeah. How did the playoffs start last week for the Seattle Seahawks? First play of the game.
Goodbye.
Like, those are just
Yeah, really good. It's a good point. It's underrated, just because he doesn't have the big name. Yeah. We're all caught up, I assume?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you guys are the best. Thank you very much.
Thank
you for everybody there in the chat.
Man.
Appreciate you smashing that like button. We're going to be back tomorrow here on Woodward Sports and the Braylon Edwards Show starting at 2.
See ya.
Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.